Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I should probably turn on all the lights. How's everyone doing? I don't need the camera or the clock. There goes the clock. On. No, on. Which way do I flip the switch? Is that the way I flip the switch? Uh-oh. Oh, it would help if that was plugged in. There we go. And that one on. On! And... on! There we go! Hi! There we go. I had everything off and I completely forgot about that. Zombie Hedgehog 149. But yeah, I'm back from Murph, Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. I'm home. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Everyone have a good weekend? You know, it's Wednesday. One day we shall finish the rat rig. That was an awesome weekend. Also, fun fact, if you tell somebody you're running low in PETG because you tried to print something and you realize you didn't have any PETG, and they happen to run a company that makes filament, you sometimes come home to this. So thank you, David. So I've got PETG for probably the rest of my life now. What I don't have is anywhere to put it. So just unbox this. It just showed up. Yeah. Hide that there for now and deal that with later. Was insane. Yeah, so today I was gonna you know what? Technically is Rat Rig Tuesday, so what we'll do is we'll pull out the V0 and we'll print something on that, maybe. I don't know. Today it's just gonna be a recap. Because I'm sure whatever I planned on doing, we're just going to do a ton of stuff about Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. I'm going to have tons of questions about it. I'll probably end up going and telling some stories. So I figure instead of trying to make something instead of trying to do something actual practical on stream, we're just going to hang out and do a print and chill, or something. So yeah. Oh, Steve's here. Hi, Steve. So yeah, so for those that don't know, over the weekend was the first Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. Am I going to Rapid? I am. I gave myself a heart attack last night. We'll get to that later. So last weekend was the very first Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. Everyone, golf claps in chat to the team who put that on. They nailed it. Gary gifted a community membership. Cheers, Gary. They absolutely nailed it. It was a first time show, so there were a few hiccups. Obviously, nobody's perfect. So there were a few minor hiccups, but for a first time show, if one of your hiccups is it's too crowded because twice the amount of people that showed up to ERF showed up to your Rep Fest, that's kind of like a you know, a DJ Khaled suffering from success thing. So yeah. So Murph was rubbish. No, Murph was awesome. They really nailed it. How do you pronounce that anyways? Briacore? Justin's in chat. He was one of the, I guess there's no like leader, there's just a bunch of them that handle it, but he was the guy I saw all the time. So yeah, it was awesome. At least I think that's Justin. I'm horrible with names. But they nailed it. It was really good. Literally the biggest gripe, the after party, because it was at the venue, didn't allow alcohol. So we had to go be all sneaky. Other than that, more room next year will be nice. Because it was kind of packed, but they're going to double it next year. So we'll be good, but it was insane. Will I build a V24? No. because nobody's going to build a V24 because the V24 is not what will be released. PF Dennis gifted 10 community memberships, and Augie's Hobbies also back. Yeah, a lot of people were traveling the last few days. Also, if I build a V24, what will that entail will be I will just move the workshop into the V24. Because for those that don't know, you can fit in a V24. I did a video inside a V24. Tap changer. Do you have a link to it? Is it the thing I saw earlier today? Tap changer prototype. Yeah, I seen a video of this today. Yeah, I seen a video of this today. So I did see a video of this. They had it running on a V2. Yeah, you can see I already saw it. So it will be interesting if they actually push this public, because I've seen a few attempts at DIY tool changing on Vorons over the years, and none of them have really ever seemed to make it beyond like the demo unit. Like I've seen a few at this stage, but I something rabbit, something bunny or something, I can't remember what it was. So if this actually gets full on release, hi Linus, it will be good to see, but I've yet to see one actually get pushed to the full development stage, like public stage. Is the V24 really, let's be honest, the V24 is really a 600 by 600. No, it's actually 24 inches because Max lives in Yankee Doodle Land, America, and he bought a 24-inch bed for it, and it is spec'd for 24 inches. So the actual, it's kind of like, for those that don't know, all the bed sides in Vorons are actually an inch. That's a 10-inch bed. That's a 12-inch bed. Now, granted, the beds are in millimeters, but the actual usable volume is in inches, or at least it was in the original days. Because he lives in America and he goes to the shop and he gets a 12-inch plate of steel, or a 9-inch in the V1, for example. So yeah, so V24 originally had 24 inches of travel, which is a 600 millimeter bed, because it uses three, or correction, it uses, I don't know why everyone keeps saying three. It uses four 300 millimeter spec Voron beds, which, by the way, a 300 millimeter spec Voron bed is 305 millimeters. So it's 610 millimeters, which is within half a mil of 24 inches. So yeah. How wiggle proof? Hopefully not as wiggly as the Chaotic Lab tool head, or metal tap. I'm biased, but Rocky may become one of, if not the biggest rep if they keep it up. Also, it was awkwardly say hi to you here. Cheers. I saw a lot of people. I'm horrible with names and faces, so if you said hi, I say hi, but I probably don't remember half of you, no offense. I am horrible with names. At these events, I don't even know who half the people on the Voron team are, because we don't, like, we had name tags this year, or we had name tags at Murph, but we had the cool little things. I got it in my bag here, but I've got like that thing where I'm horrible with names and faces. Any experience with the Micro Swiss? So here's the thing with Micro Swiss. They make good stuff, okay? Don't get me wrong. I think they make great stuff. The thing is, I don't play with their stuff because none of the stuff I build uses it. So I don't have enders, and I don't have like that style of printer. So like that NG toolhead or hot end assembly with extruder, that doesn't work on Vorons, or I don't think it works on V-cores. So it's like, I don't build the printers or use the printers that I would put that on. I would literally have to put my ender back together and just use it just for that to use it, which it doesn't flow into my workflow. So do you think aluminum deck panel bottom panels on a 24 would any more noise than normal? So fun fact, V24 is quite a shit. It's really quiet. Let's see here. I think I have a video with noise. Sign into this. Come on, Google, give me the. There it is. Yes, that's me. There we go. V24 is quiet. V24 is probably the quietest Voron at speed. Let me see here. Yeah, so.
That's 1,000. It's 800 diagonally, and that's 1,000 back and forth.
1,000.
Wrong way.
That's 1,000. It's 800 diagonally, and that's 1,000 back and forth.
1,000
So
millimeters a second.
This is 1,000 this is a meter a second at 10 kxm.
Are you in 24 volt?
Do you think LDO will put a superpower? These are LDO motors. These are LDO NEMA 23s.
I can give it basically one more ham.
And they're running at 2 something amp.
Yeah, they're NEMA 23s.
Okay.
So it's running high volt 5160s on an Octopus. It's the electronics inside V24 are, other than the fact it has 4 SSRs, one for each bed, it's literally bog standard Voron. Like it's just normal Voron. It's just bigger.
That's 1,000.
So this is 1,000. This is a meter a second right here.
I don't think we have hot ends that can do this.
And it had a Dragon high flow in it. Rapido is what you want, but yeah. Zombie Hedgehog, $5. Cheers. Nice meeting you this weekend. Now that you get to see a few Rook builds, what are your thoughts? As soon as I get a kit, I'm building one. I really want to build a Rook. They are so friggin' cute. I love them. I want to build a Rook. So yeah, I will be building a Rook. Don't worry. Do not worry. There will be a Rook build in the future. As soon as I get a kit. So yeah, so V24. So for some people are asking about the joint. It's like a ball joint in the corners. So V24, this is not going to be released. If you watch the video, which it was mentioned in the video and everyone seemed to have forgotten, V24 R2 is an upgraded V24. There will be something released in end of year that this is the motion platform test for. So this is proof of concept that what they're thinking of works, and now they're going to go finalize it into the final revision. So it doesn't need all-wheel drive. It's got NEMA 23s and it can already do it. As is, it can outrun every hot end on the market. It doesn't need more power. It don't need all-wheel drive. It's got 9mm belts, yes. And I seen comments. People are like, well, you say Core XY can't go big. Yes, that's why I recommend Rat Rig. Voron, the current setup with the NEMA 17s, 20mm extrusions, 9mm rails, 6mm belts. This doesn't go big. But when you start seeing stuff and using NEMA 23s, you can to an extent. J Tower, $2. Cheers. What was this heart attack moment you mentioned? Oh yeah, the heart attack. So, let me find the picture. Where did I share it? I don't know where I shared it. I can't remember where I shared it. TLDR, yesterday night, I was getting everything ready. So next week I have Rapid. Next Tuesday, I'm flying to Chicago for Rapid TCT. And I'm making sure I've got everything ready. So what I like to do since I crossed the border, I print off all my paperwork. So flight boarding pass, hotel reservation, invitation to the event. That way, if the border guard, like at the border, because I have to go through customs, if they just want proof of what I'm saying, I can go, oh, hey, here, look, I've got proof. Like I have a flight to Chicago with my name on it. Like I'm not lying to you. I have proof. I printed off the hotel reservation. This hotel is booked solid. It was booked solid months ago. Because it's the hotel attached to the event center. So I printed off the hotel reservation and I looked at the hotel reservation and the hotel reservation said check-in today. Guess who booked their hotel a week off? So, that was a little bit of a panic attack at like 6 o'clock at night yesterday. I don't know what happened because like, I don't know if I hit a back button at some point, because what it was I clicked on the Rapid site. They had like, oh, you special rates with hotels. So I clicked that link and it had like the calendar, like the calendar for the month, and it had like the week highlighted, and I just picked Tuesday, Wednesday, and I booked. Because that's when all I'm there for is Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Yeah, apparently that was this week. So I call up Hyatt, and I'm like, I can't remember the guy's name. I wish I did. He's going to get a very good review when I get that email, by the way. Because you know how they send an email about how was your experience. So I called up. I'm like, can you save me here? Because otherwise I am, as the French would say, le fucked. He's like, what happened? I'm like, well, I have a hotel. I need the hotel for next Tuesday. Apparently I'm supposed to be there now. So he's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So he was luckily able to move it to next week and no problems. Everything was good. Hunky dory. We're all good. But for that, like 10 minutes from the time I realized that to the time he said, okay, I can fix that, I was like having a panic attack because one, the hotel wasn't cheap. And it was the cheapest hotel, and it's still several. It was monies. It was monies. Two, I'm being sponsored to go to said event, so I was going either way. It's just I would have rather sleep in a hotel than like hiding in a corner of the event center and hoping they don't kick me out at night. And I would like to shower. So luckily, it's all fixed. So luckily, we're good now. We're good now. So we're good. But yeah, that was a little bit of a panic attack for a moment there. Did you like the adult drink? Jeff, if you gave me the scotch, it was very tasty. Unfortunately, I flew home. I flew in, flew out, and I had carry-ons. I didn't check any baggage, so I couldn't bring it back with me. So I made sure to dispose of it in an economic and practical means on Saturday night, and it was delicious. Thank you. Sunday morning was a little... I took it slow. If you heard me Sunday morning, you know why. Once I get the Cheedy fixed up, I don't know. So Cheedy, they stopped sale of one of their printers. They haven't stopped the sale of this one, but they stopped the sale of another one. And actually, they might have done did they do a firmware update? Support, software and firmware. So XSmart 3, do they have another one? April 18th. Okay, I'm not going to update that one. Yeah, the one Modbot has one and a few others. You should do an LDO try. I don't. Okay. I don't do big giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, if you want to win Polymaker filament, link in the description. We give away a spool every stream. That's different. I don't do a lot of builds and giveaways. However, I'm getting it set up. I'm bringing a V0 to Murph. We're going to give it away for hopefully charity. I got to verify everything, but I've got the Disco V01. I'm not going to upgrade it to V02, but we built it last year. The plan was to give it away. Nothing happened with it because stuff kind of fell apart, or timetables didn't work. So we're going to give that away, hopefully at Murph, and hopefully for charity. So hopefully. Greens from Romania, glad to be back. You're back, or I'm back? I did stream on Sunday. Hope you saw the stream on Sunday. So, what about the Pantheon you're going to give me? I don't even have a Pantheon. Although I'm looking forward to meeting the Pantheon guys again at Murph, or at Rapid. How's the Lonely Micron? It's good. It's just I don't use it. I'm gonna give it away. Somebody's gonna get it. Hopefully at Murph. I'm not saying for sure at Murph. It might be Murph. I don't know for sure yet. Because the thing is, E3D is not gonna be at Murph, and I want to do it for the Sanjay Mortimer charity. So we might end up doing it at Murph. I don't know for sure yet. I gotta talk to people and make sure it's all all good. K3 build when? Whenever I get the kit from Fabrico, hopefully. Speaking of, check out Fabrico. They sponsored my trip to Rapid or Remurf. There's too many events. How we start printing blaster parts? I haven't checked the mailbox yet, so I don't know if they showed up yet. But I've got a ton of PETG, which I wanted to use that for the blaster because it's got better layer adhesion and you're printing a lot of stuff vertical. But I do have, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the V0 out because I gotta unpack my bag here. So I've got some filament here. One of them is Jesse PLA Soul Black Glitter PLA. And then another one was a shout out to Sanity and the Czech Voron community because she hooked me up. Sanity hooked me up with something I wanted to buy, but I couldn't because I couldn't justify the cost because shipping from Prague is expensive for something, one thing. So we have here the Prusament hex filament that is hex shape. So I'm thinking we get the V0 and we print something with it and have some fun. So let's get this cheaty out here. It doesn't work right. Yeah, to the floor. 0 because it's right there. Don't you love when you can just grab a printer like this and then that's it? So if I remember correctly, this printer works. We had this printing, right? We had this printing, I believe. So I can print with it, I believe. Can you print Voron parts with hips? I don't know. Hips is very stiff. I think it's too brittle though. You might have, I know, like I printed stuff in hips and anything tall has cracking issues, I remember. It might've been the hips I used because it was like 5-year-old MakerBot hips, so. Any suggestion on tools to have on hand? I have a video on my channel, but basically recommending tools. Allen keys, or if you want to be fancy, LTT store screwdriver. But Allen keys, you're gonna want some, strips. You're gonna need to strip some wires. You may need to crimp. What kit are you using? LDO kit. So most of the wiring's done. So you should just need basic tools. Allen keys, a screwdriver, stuff like that. I just canceled my KeyNewMax order. Did they cancel it? They are postponing it. They're having issues with the printer. Yeah. Speaking of issues with the printer, I fear for humanity, okay? I fear for humanity right now, okay? Because what is that, Corex? What, Kokoni? Sota? Okay. I fear for humanity, okay? Because somehow 550 people have given this company approximately 11 backers there. So what is the biggest backers? 80 backers. $800 Canadian. $1,000. Yeah, 422 backers. Okay, so this is so $1,000 for 2 printers. Or is it 1 printer? It's 1 printer. So either way, 550 people have given this company $671,000 for a printer that they have yet to demonstrate actually is functional. Yeah. Why? Kokoni soda, that's what it is. Let me find the post from Naomi here. Now, say what you will about Naomi, whatever. Don't get into that. Please don't, whatever, in the chat. I'm just using her experience with them as reference. But they reached out to her and she's like, yeah, this printer doesn't work. They wanted her to promote it or whatever. And basically the printer doesn't work. Yeah. 550 people are potentially throwing money away. Kickstarter has no guarantee. It's gambling. What's the... I don't know about you, but from what I've seen about this printer, I don't think it's worth $1,000 gamble. I mean, at best, it's an upside down Core XY. Like, how have all the other recent Core XY, traditional Core XYs been in terms of release? What, the 100 printer? It seems to just be a fancy Rook, so I have no idea. Friends don't let friends kickstart. Here's the thing, everyone, oh my God, I see this with Prusa, okay? People are like, oh my God, where are reviews? Where are reviews? How do I know if I should buy this machine without reviews? Because, you know, Prusa doesn't send free units to reviewers. They send out units to paying customers first. That's what they prioritize. Nobody has review units of Prusas. Everyone who has a Prusa has purchased it with their own money. So here's a concept. This is gonna be, some people may not grasp this concept. You don't have to buy it the day it comes out. You don't have to buy it. If the Kokoni Soda is a real good printer worth $1,000, you can wait until it's a item in production that you can buy off the shelf with reviews and then drop $1,000. What do you get by pre-ordering it? You just get it a little bit earlier and you get the buggy version that hopefully they fix if they even becomes a real thing. Like you can wait. You can wait on reviews. Also, $1,000 glass bed. Steve, how's the bed on the positron? Like, everything's custom in this. It's a company I've never, like, it is such a crapshoot. Why are you doing this, people? Why are you doing this? So, anyways, X-Max 3. Wait on reviews. I even said this with the Bamboo. Like, when they sent me my Bamboo unit, they had the Kickstarter going on. I basically straight up said, I'm like, if you can go watch my reviews. Wait until they're available for normal purchase before you decide to buy one. Don't trust Kickstarter. You have no idea. Like, you have no idea. There is nothing to, you know, guarantee that your printer is actually going to even show up. From what I've heard, they're doing the Kickstarter because they have to, they had VC funding, venture capital funding, to get things where they are now. And those people want their money. They want a return on their investment. So they're doing a Kickstarter to be able to pay off the VC people. So once the Kickstarter's done, they got no money. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. That's what I've heard. But that seems to be what people do the Kickstarters for. Because, like, even Bamboo did a Kickstarter. They had the whole production facility was set up to build these printers. They had these printers, but then they did a Kickstarter. So that way they can get the money now and pay off the investment. And then hopefully after that, they still are able to build printers. That doesn't happen all the time, in case you haven't noticed. That's why it's a gamble. ADHD. Build a Voron. You don't want to wait, just build a Voron, because let's be honest, all these fancy new and closed Core XYs have been doing what we've been doing in the DIY sphere for the past 5 years. Welcome to the club, pal. So I don't have a fancy feeder for this yet. So I'm just gonna do the whole, this is gonna go here. It is hex. This filament is hex. It is straight up like hexagonal. So I wonder if this is going to eat through the Bowden tube faster. Because it's hex, so it's got sharp edges. Also, I want to see if it fits an Allen or a wrench. Hopefully that feeds right. Should be interesting if it feeds right. We'll find out. Really sent out. Yeah, they sent out hexagonal filament. You could buy it. I was gonna buy it because why not? The memes. But the problem is it wasn't that expensive for the spool. The problem is it was like $30 to ship it to Canada. So that would have been like 65 Canadian plus probably taxes and duties to get it here. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And then Sanity gifted me some. So yay, Sanity. But yeah, it is actually hexagonal. Like you can see the flats on it. It's hexagon. Okay, so let's slice something here. Super slicer. Do I have a super slicer profile for this setup? I think I do. V0. I do. PLA. Print settings. We're just gonna go with my normal Boron speeds and feeds. Nothing fancy here. Okay, we'll do a benchy because we kind of have to. We don't need to. We'll do 20% and 15% infill. Two walls, 4 top, 3 bottom. We're not doing speed benchies. I'm done with speed benchies. Getting bored of speed benchies. Okay. So export that, upload and print. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, it was really cool. Going back to talking about Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest, really busy. The Saturday was crazy. The Sunday was a little bit more relaxed. I flew out Thursday. For those that are fans of Smarter Every Day, I was super happy that this was working, because every time I've been to the Detroit airport, it wasn't. So this is the laminar flow thing, like fountain that they have at the airport in Detroit. Red Rogue, thank you for coming a member. So obviously, you know, it's not perfect. But it's like laminar flow, so it's like really cool. So that was cool to see. I was so happy it was actually working for once. And what else? So I got to the airport way too early, so I did actually camp out and watch the Starship launch. So that was fun. It blew up. It flew. That was cool. And for those wondering, Denver Airport is hell on earth to navigate. The signage sucks. And if you've never been there before, horrible signage and construction make it a pain to navigate. Whereas Detroit Airport is a mile-long straight line. Easy peasy. It's literally a straight line for a mile. There's my plane that took me there, Airbus A321. So it was kind of funny because I was told to, when I land in Denver, some other people We're going to be landing at approximately the same time to pick them up, because I was just, you know, I happened to be there and I already had a car rental, which waste of money because I only needed the car rental to get from the airport to the hotel, because everyone leaving at the same time was leaving on the Monday was leaving at the same time, and I could have carpooled. So I rented a car for a weekend to drive 1 hour in a straight line. That's all I really had to do. I obviously had to drive myself back. Mr. Minden, $20. Cheers. Welcome back to Canada. Enjoy your videos for Murph. Thank you for Murph. So anyways, the two people I was told to pick up, Derp and Wanance, turns out they were on my flight. They were on the connecting flight. So I like, we ran into each other as we were getting on the plane. So that made finding them easy. There's Blucifer. I couldn't get a good picture of it because the stupid. So that's Blucifer. It's a giant. Denver Airport is fun. There's like a whole bunch of conspiracy shit around it. But also out front, they have a giant blue stallion with glowing red eyes. It's called Blucifer. Why not? YOLO. Take care, Steve. And then, of course, all the Voron guys show up on 420 in Denver. So what do? We play around with a Polar Cartesian Core XZ. So I got a video on this from the floor. So that was fun. At least I didn't carpool with CNC Kitchen. Yeah, he got screwed. His rental broke. Which it was like a brand new car too. First time seeing the Rocky Mountains in the States. I've seen them in Canada from Calgary. But this was the first time seeing them in the States. So, look, mountains. V24 for scale. I didn't take a lot of pictures. I didn't take any selfies with anyone. Like, I think I've got pictures with Joel and like Stefan and all of them. Like I've taken with Grant. Like I took pictures with them, but none with my phone. So I don't know where those pictures are all at. Oh, printer's printing. This was the hotel across the street. It was really nice. It was great to be at an event like this where you just walk from the hotel to the venue. There's Unami and Hector. I'm not a big person with taking pictures. I took video. I was with the live stream with them. We live streamed. Yeah, that's printing. It was Hilton Embassy Suites, I think. It was right across the street from it. So the V24 video. So that was the big ticket, in my opinion. That was probably the thing at Remurf that like all the content creators probably wanted to do a video on. I know Joel did a video on it. I don't know if Stefan did. But that was like something I thought a lot of people would want to do a video on. Oh, that first layer isn't the greatest. Yeah, we'll let it go. So anyways, it was 250 pounds for those wondering. So the thing with V24, I really wanted to get my video out first. I'm on the Voron team. I called dibs. So anyways, so I recorded a video with Max the Friday, and I was like, I'm gonna be big brain. Okay, I'm gonna be big brain. I'm gonna record it one take. No B-roll, just a quick one take video. Take it off the SD off my GoPro, which I gotta unpack all that right now. So take it off the SD card off the GoPro, upload it right to YouTube. Yeah, it's gonna be great. GoPro records at 5-minute increments. Shit. So I had to edit it, and my laptop, let's just say it renders 1080p 30 at 8 FPS. And that's completely maxed out. Yeah, I run Linux on the laptop. Yep, that print failed. That print failed. Let's pause. What happened? Oh yeah, that just peeled right up. Let's clean the bed and try again. When I bring V24, because I sit in V24. Any mods? This has a bunch of mods. It's got a belted Zed, Kirigami bed. It's got an LGX light, Pico Billicle. It's got a bunch of mods. Reprint job. And I'm just going to slow that first layer down a bit. Okay. What editing software? So here's the thing. I edit with DaVinci. On my computer upstairs, I edit with DaVinci Resolve. I have the studio version. I paid for it. I really like DaVinci, okay? You pay once, you get it forever. I get 2 licenses. I can put it on 2 things. And I came with a little speed editing deck, which is really nice. So I like DaVinci. Unfortunately, my laptop doesn't have an integrated GPU. And it has Linux on it because I need to get every ounce of performance out of this thing. It's got an i5-6500U. It's a dual core. So DaVinci is a no-go on this. So I have Kdenlive on it, which I used Kdenlive before I got DaVinci. For simple editing, it's not like if you're just splicing clips together and adjusting audio levels and putting B-roll over it, you can edit simply with Kden. It just doesn't have all the features of DaVinci, and I don't like the interface as much. But it's usable. So I have Kdenlive. And it worked fine. It's just previewing 4K doesn't work too good. And rendering is slow as balls. So did I slice with 0.7 layer height? No, it's just 0.2. It's just point. Oh, no, that's wall thickness. It's yeah, it's 0.2 layer height. Shared a video of V24 in the public photo album. The show in my Discord. On my Discord? Yeah. So if you wonder how a V24 gets around, they put it face down, take the doors off, and that's how it's carried. So yeah, it's a huge bitch. And a public photo album. There we go. Prusa enclosure without needing to worry about parts. For a little bit, but if you plan on printing ABS long-term on a Prusa, swap the parts to ABS, which I may have some Polymaker Galaxy ABS sitting at FedEx once they release it because they didn't believe the value they put on it. So I'm waiting on some paperwork from Polymaker to send to FedEx so we can get released from customs. So I may have some nice fancy Galaxy ABSs and ASAs that when I do build a Mark IV, we will be printing the parts in ABS for it instead of using the PETG. So I need to figure out some colors. Where's Rat Rick? On the ground. We're just doing a print and chill today. Does DaVinci Resolve work with AMD graphics cards? It does. I have a Ryzen, or I got a, my main editing computer upstairs is a Ryzen 3950X, 16 core. And then the video card's a 5700X, which is AMD. So yeah, it works with AMD. You need a dedicated GPU. It works better with NVIDIA, but I haven't had any issues with AMD on my setup. I'm only doing 4K anyways. So anyway, so this laptop, it works good at everything I need it to do while I travel, because I don't do a lot when I travel. So Discord and YouTube when I'm bored. It just can't edit. So I don't want to buy another laptop because like I use it twice a year for editing on the field, because I don't plan on editing at Rapid, for example. The only time I edit is like if I want to get a video, like a first video out, which I did for the V24, which it came out. I just had to like tell it to render, and then I went to bed. And then I woke up and uploaded it. So I might not even bring the laptop to Rapid. I will say though, what worked out really good was the GoPro. or not so much the GoPro, the DJI mics. They worked out really good. Let's see here. I've been starting to go through the okay, so it doesn't like extruding that fast. Interesting. I started going through all the videos and actually like taking the raw footage and editing them into actual usable footage that I can actually, you know, do stuff with. Because right now I just have the raw footage, right? Open. No. Open with VLC. Okay, there we go. Oh. No, not you.
So we have Bill here from
Hey, it's Bill. Okay, let me fix the mic here. Mute that.
And a couple new products. Well, not new, but adjusted for a new printer. So what do we
I'll
have
just
here?
skip ahead.
And in this case,
So,
we're just moving
the
hot
audio.
end. So in this case, if you look carefully, red is
it's pretty
the
good, I
filament
think.
that's loaded.
So we each have
And green
individual
is up
lav
here.
mics. This is
So I'll tell it to switch to
with
green.
a 15%
And I'm just going to use the
background
hot end to
cancellation
touch
from
the
DaVinci,
switch.
because DaVinci has
That'll
the
command
voice
us
isolation
for
function.
3 pulses.
So it's running like
and
15%
then
voice
that'll tell it
isolation.
to
So
unload
you still get a
one
little
and
bit of the
load
crowd,
3.
but you kind of want
So
that. I don't want it dead
I gotta
silent.
touch it so I can feel the switches. There we go.
It works the same, so it still does the purge
strategy,
and everything.
The filament cutter, 100% of it's still used.
Awesome. So this
yeah,
allows you to do multi-material
So, yeah.
cheaper than the native.
So video is still not perfect because it is a GoPro. I kind of goofed. I recorded everything at 4K 30. I learned my mistake previously. I should be recording at 2.7K 60. The higher frame rate is a little bit smoother. The GoPro, sometimes if I change, like if I move in while moving the camera, it kind of stutters a little bit. So that'll be something for Rapid. Did I see I walked by, I don't know if I had a sit down chat with somebody there, but I did see the booth. Tablet beefy phone is enough to edit stuff like the V24 video. The problem is that video was 2.7K 60 that I rendered out at 1080p 30. Do I got the music back on? I do. Good. A light on the GoPro. That is true. I might get the GoPro light. The problem is the GoPro mounted lights are little. What I did order, and honestly, half the reason I like going to these events is so I could pick Joel and David's brain about stuff, because they've been doing this way longer than me and they're better at it than me. So I've got a monopod on the way. So hopefully at Rapid, because Rapid is an industry event and there are people with suits and ties there, me sitting there with my GoPro in my hand talking to the head of PR or whatever at Massifit isn't really that professional. So I've got a monopod that has a little tripod on the bottom that I'm totally buying the exact same one Joel used at Remurf, because it works really good. And that way I can mount my GoPro right on it and actually have fixed camera. So I'm going to be smart this time and record the interviews and just record a bunch of B-roll and do it separately this time. So why doesn't Ratrig? They're in Portugal, so it's a bit of a drive for them. But seriously, this setup worked great. The Volta worked most of the time when it decided to work. It got really annoying because it kept desyncing the Volta. Let me put that back up to 100%. So the GoPro is supposed to plug into the Volta, which has controls for it and a battery. And what ended up happening was every time I turned off the GoPro, it would lose sync and I would have to reconnect it on boot up. And it was super annoying. Hopefully it worked right now. Yeah, it didn't work. So I had to like manually boot it up each time, but it worked okay. So that worked really good. You can rent a high-end camera equipment really cheap. I don't want to though. I am very adverse to using things. I don't know what it is. I don't like using stuff that's not mine. I don't like borrowing stuff. It's just kind of, I prefer to use the same setup for everything too. That way I'm used to the setup. I know what to expect. And for those wondering, like, I have an A6400 4K video camera. I could bring this if I wanted to, but I can't record handheld with this. I shake. I suffer from essential tremors. I constantly shake, especially when I'm holding stuff. That's why in all my videos, everything's locked off. So I would have to have this mounted, and then I have to bring this with me, and I'm paranoid. GoPro I can drop. It's a GoPro. Plus, for the kind of stuff I'm covering, a GoPro's good enough for the A-roll, and then honestly, B-roll, it's my camera phone. A stabilized gimbal. Yeah, that's a big setup. If I had help, I would totally do that. But I am just me. It's a lot easier for me to go, turn the GoPro on, I got a lav, you got a lav, set it up on the monopod, okay, let's record. Like literally some of these interviews I did, I literally just walked up and said, hey, you ready to record now? Yep, okay. Clip on the lav, turn on the GoPro. Okay, so we're here at Remurf with Coco Press, and go. Like no prep time. So I like lightweight setups. Also, I'm carrying it around all day at Rapid. So I might ditch the backpack for like an actual professional backpack, because this is a little ex-army type backpack. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll see what I can find over the weekend. I do have to charge everything though. So let's get everything charging. Also, I brought a dead USB-C cable. So I only have one USB-C cable. So I had to like recharge everything every night. It was super annoying. You know, like Joel set up with his assistant. Chris, that's not his assistant. That's his producer. That's David, who, if you're ever interested in media, David knows his shit. I'm a pro stream producer. Hit me up. Rocking the C920 I saw. So this is this public? Yeah, that's public. You linked it on the Discord. So these are all public photos from, I think this was the Voron one. I think all of this is public. I don't think any of it here is unreleased. Polymaker with booth was cool. I didn't do, so there were some people I didn't do videos with because I'm going to be doing videos with them at Rapid. So like Jason and Polymaker and whatnot. The R2 was cool. This is 3D printed. We had dinner. There's me. We had a little barbecue there. I wonder what that is. Go. So yeah, a bunch of people were in a house. They rented like a Airbnb or VRBO. I wasn't there because I signed up too late, so there was no room. So I had to slum it in the hotel across the street. It did snow. It was the first time Grant saw snow, falling snow. Sanity had the traditional Voron garb of the cultist robes, as per the normal. Chris was right across from us, so the Voron booth was here, and Chris Riley was right here, so he was right next to us. It says Windsor. Yeah, so we had a barbecue the one night, like the Voron team did. We had a little cookout barbecue. It was in Windsor, Colorado. So I flew from Windsor to Windsor. Nordy's was delicious. That was good. I got the two-hander sandwich. So toasted bun, brisket, turkey, pork, like sausage. So smoked turkey, smoked brisket, smoked pork, bacon, and cheese. Spam caller. Goodbye. And it was cheap. Like it was like $13.99 for that, and fries. We had the disco, that one. They built two Vorons there. They built a Trident and a V2 to give away. This weekend was not good to my diet. I think Friday the only thing I drank was orange juice and everything else was beer. It was not good for my diet. This was a really cool setup they had at the Polymaker booth because it was all the Polymaker scientist model guy printed in all their different color filaments and types of filament. Fabrico had a really cool booth there. Grant with the Diamondback guys. There's Sanity and Stefan. Lulzbot. Lulzbot actually had a new printer. It's a Core XZ. It's the new version of the Mini. Joel is doing a video with Max on the V24. So that is happening. They did do Death Racers. I didn't do Death. Yeah, see? So this is Jim's setup. He's got the fancy camera and a camera and editor. And yeah, for someone like him, it makes more sense. For me, I'm just by myself. So I like the light setup. The TPU Voron. Yep, we had a Voron there that was all the plastic parts on it were printed in TPU. It was a V0. Every single print part on it that was printable was printed in TPU 95A, and it prints just fine. Like, no joke, it prints just fine. They were printing with it all weekend. Timmett scared me or something, I guess. They had the Death Racers again. Josh had a fully printed Starship, which was really cool. We had a 400% scale Stealth Burner on the table. The front face here was printed on V24. It was busy. This was, I think this was this around a draw, but it was like super busy. There's V24. The Stealth Burner looks so comical in there. There's the organizer, Justin and Joel. I don't think I took a single picture with Joel on my phone. I took pictures with Joel and a bunch of other people, but they weren't on my phone. So I have like no pictures of me and Joel from this, or anyone really. Like I have like not a lot of pictures of people. How did the drag race go? I didn't actually see it because I used the excuse of everyone being outside to film stuff. So I filmed a bunch of B-roll and interviews while everyone was outside for those events. So I missed those events, unfortunately. Oh, and the DFH crew had their own giant tool head, copycats. Yeah, so like Jim's got all this fancy gear and whatnot. There's Jason. And it's like, I got my stick. I got my GoPro on a stick. Steve! All the chocolate from Cocoa Press. Sent you a link for 17 p.m. on Discord. I'll take a look. They had, I hope there's a picture in here. On the Fabrico booth, they had a mini Legacy. So they had a Voron Legacy, but it was built with like 6mm rods and a smaller bed. It looked awesome. I really want to build one because it looks super cute. Don't know if they have a picture of it in here. How's the print going? Oh, it's printed. Good. This is cool. This guy let me try it. It's like a force feedback glove. So it's got little wires. So you can like simulate grabbing stuff because you'll like feel resistance. So like if you're wearing VR, you can like simulate grabbing stuff and it just runs off a phone. It's actually pretty cool. Mitch had his backpack printer as always. Scroll back up. Okay, I'll find it in a minute. This was a really clean build. This is a K3, an Annex K3. I don't know if they have a picture with the screen on. So it's got that big fancy screen, but it's vertical. This is their electronics backpack on the side. This was a really clean build. They did a good job on that. Ellie gave a speech there. There's a bunch of speeches. Max did a speech. I got the whole thing recorded. It is, I think I posted it in the Yacht Club channel. So if you're a member of the channel, check out the Yacht Club channel. I do have it linked there. It will be public at some point. I'm saving it for a weekend. I don't have anything to upload. But if you're on the Voron team, it is in one of the pin channels for the event. So yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, that's your K3? You did a good job on it. It was actually a really clean build. I'm a sucker for clean printer builds. Like, remember the days when you went on like r/reprap and somebody would post their Hevort or Hevo or just Hypercube, and you would just have like the power supply sitting at the bottom next to the ramps, and like all the wires were everything, and nothing was trimmed, and everything was just kind of like bleh and spaghetti before you printed anything. And now, you know, it's all nice and clean, and like you kind of have to make a clean printer if you're serious about printing. It's like, it's so nice. Why is, what? Uno momento. Was me mum. Did you do your taxes yet? Yes. The 5-axis? Yep, I did a video with the 5-axis. Okay, let's scroll up and see if I can find that legacy. Where was that legacy at? It was at the Fabrico booth. Fabrico booth. This is Fabrico stuff. Did I pass it? That's Fabrico booth. Where is the mini legacy? LVO. Oh, there we go. Fabrico. There's the Rook. It's so cute. I want to build one. It's so simple. There's the mini legacy. Okay, there we go. Mini legacy. So this is a Voron legacy. Obviously, it's a printers for Ant version of it, but it's 6mm rods. So it's 6mm rods. Got the 120 bed. I want to build one of these so bad, because the funny thing is, I have I've got a bunch of 6mm bearings already from like ye olde times when we thought the V0 would be on 6mm rods, because they were at one point. And I might actually let me check something. Are you in here still? Hopefully I didn't accidentally mute the mic before walking off. Where are you? Haha. Come on. Gotcha. Can't run away from me. So they're probably not long enough, but original 6mm rods and bearings, 6mm bearings from the original design for V0. I don't know how long the rods need to be for this though. They're probably, these might be too short. These are only 150 millimeters long, so they might be too short. Ever get put together by anyone? No. Technically, Max had it printed out. It just never actually got anywhere. Like he did put it together, but it wasn't for like, it didn't go anywhere. The original V0, okay, you want to know what's absolutely hilarious? The Rook is what the V0 was originally going to be. The original idea of the V0, I could pull up pictures here. So obviously the Rook has rails, okay? Community, GitHub, V0. Go to the original branch. Manual. So this is the original V0 manual. So all the way at the bottom of the original V0 manual, these are the developments. So that's my hand. This is my picture. You can see because it's the old desk I had. So the original bed was going to be on a printed bed mount before we went to extrusions. There's the original tool head, which is dual 3030s. At one point it was mostly 3D printed. I think there's one picture that shows it. We had belted Z out too. Yeah, at one point the bed was belted. And there's the original jetpack, I think. Yeah, then we switched to that. So yeah, we had a whole tackle box thing at one point. There was that version of it. There's one of the original tool heads. There's a CAD picture somewhere where it was literally all printed. Like, yeah, you can see right here. It was all rods basically. So the Rook is if somebody took the original V0 and actually finished it instead of what the V0 became. The Rook 21. No, this was 1515. Originally there was only 4 extrusions. There was 4 vertical extrusions. So the original design was 4 vertical extrusions. X and Y were on rods. Everything else was printed, and I think the bed there might have been, I can't remember what the original design for the bed. I think the bed had 2 extrusions and on rods too. But I think it was on 2 rods. You can see it right there. It was on 2 rods. So originally it was 4 extrusions. The bed rode on 2 rods and it was belted, and X and Y were on rods. So this is what the original V0 looked like. And then what else? Battery pack worked great. This, useless. I never used it. This I never used. I might bring it to Rapid. I don't know. I'm not going to bring the laptop to Rapid. There's no point. I'm not going to edit anything there. I got a Mandela Rose card. Laptop charger. The USB-C cable that didn't work. My backup. Always, every night, you dump your footage off your SD cards onto a secondary media. Even if you didn't fill up your SD card and you're not going to, like I didn't, always dump your data for the day. That way, if something happens, you have a backup. The 3DS. I brought the 3DS. I played it on the flight out, and that's it. I haven't played it since. Like, I never played it on the flight back. I'm not going to bring that because while this was fun, I never used it except for the first day or the flight out. And Rapid is a 1-hour flight, so I'm not even going to bother. When's the recap stream of the V-Core? We got to finish the V-Core. So Friday is the challenge stream. So I've got 450 of you here. Everyone, print something funny or post a picture of something funny 3D printing related that you took in the Discord, in the community challenge, because the challenge, we're doing the community challenge stream this Friday. Saturday, we might enclose the V-Core. We might do Rat Rig Tuesday, because we're playing with the V0 today. We'll do Rat Rig Tuesday on a Saturday, and we'll enclose the V-Core and get that set up, because we got to enclose, I got all the panels here. Because next week, Tuesday, I'm gone for Rapid. So there'll be no stream next Tuesday. Also tomorrow, members only stream. So if you are a member of the channel, so a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter, tomorrow around noon we will be doing a 1 to 2 hour live stream, just members. So make sure you don't miss out. And if you're not a member of the channel or not a Patreon supporter, you might luck out and somebody might gift you a membership, because people do that. They're very nice, but it's random. So if you want to increase your odds of getting one of those gifted memberships that sometimes people donate, you need to actually be active in chat, because if you just lurk, you have a lower chance. What's your opinion on Slice? They make good hot ends. They don't work well with the Voron design ethos because they're very fat. Their hot ends are good. I got one in Toasty. I think they could use a better PR person. They've kind of shot themselves in the foot a few times when it comes to their interactions with the rep community. But I've personally got nothing against them, other than the fact they kind of screwed me out of some money, because they sent stuff with one shipping company when I requested another, and I got screwed on taxes. But that was, they blamed it on their shipper or whatever. Not good. That was years ago. So anyways, I've met Dan at events live. I've got nothing against him, but I don't speak as when I do anything on this channel or anything related to this channel, I'm speaking on my behalf, not on the opinion of the Voron design team. So there you go. My personal opinions do not reflect the opinions of the Voron design team when I'm acting in this capacity. Which belted Z? It's the one that's based off the Mobius. And I will say, hexagonal filament is not consistent. What else do we got in here? I've got, do that. Headphones, which these are the headphones they give you on the plane. They're shit. Bring your own headphones. And then I got the cool, do I have a charger for this? I might have a charger. So this was cool. We had badges made. Whopping made these. My battery died though. But they're little RGB badges, and they got the Voron logo on it. And you can change their neopixels, and you can like push buttons to make them change and whatnot. It was really cool. I want to make one though that has an OLED on it, so we can put our Discord images. How can I contact YouTube via phone or email? They don't let me buy. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, the in-flight headphones are junk. And then I got stickers. I need to figure out, I got to start doing stuff with all these stickers I'm collecting. I've got original E3D or old E3D logo stickers. So I got to do something with all these stickers. So. What name do you have on the badge? I just put Nero 3D because I was doing more stuff as a YouTuber than hanging out with the Voron channel. And then I also got the PCB from the DFH badge, which is just consume. Also, if you want to go to the DFH website or Discord, QR code there, or Armchair Engineering. Sticker bomb the printer. The problem is stuff changes. It's like why I haven't sticker bombed my laptop, because I don't know if I'm going to keep using that laptop or if I'm going to actually go buy one yet. I don't know. Any plans on modding an enclosure for the P1P? Nope. The P1P I might even get out of there. Since I put these both in the LAN only mode, I haven't used the P1P because I can't freaking monitor it because the camera don't work on LAN only mode for some stupid reason. It needs the cloud to render a 1 FPS camera, apparently, which is stupid AF. So, they finally added a load button to this, though. So that's good, I guess. What else? They did one other thing. They just put an update out. There was one thing that I had recommended that I've been saying they should add, and they finally added it. I doubt they heard me, but But yeah, I might be, I'm probably honestly going to retire, or not retire, but I'll probably take the P1P off the bench and replace it with the Mark IV as my PLA open air printer. Oh, fan turn off. That's right. They finally did the thing that will stop their shitty, like $7 fan from dying. That, you know, when the printer's not active, you don't need the controller fan controlling the controllers or cooling the controllers. So it's about time, you know. In fact, I would love to put that update on my printer right now, but I can't because I have to connect to the cloud and I don't want to do that. So it'd be nice if I could update it. So let's see, what size, okay, it won't work with M3. So probably M2. Try not to lose the box for the cheaty. I might give it away at some point. Okay, let's see, M2, maybe M2 screws? Sticker wall. That's what I'm actually planning to do in the garage. Once I get the garage all set up, I'm going to sticker wall it. Or sticker bomb the garage like a wall. Okay, so will an M2 hex. Okay, new challenge. Build a V2 or build a V0. The V0 uses M2 screws using Prusament hex filament as your Allen key. And save all your print jobs to the machine and send them back to cloud. I don't pay attention to it because I don't like the way the workflow is with those machines. Let me turn it on. Let me find out. I know. How long after my first printer did I get my second? I got a Monoprice Select Mini for Christmas. And by, I want to say March, I had built a V1. So, Sin to sell Voron parts. If you're not trying to sell them on the Voron PIF program, you can. Why are you not in LAN mode? Okay, you know what? Screw it. Since you're actually connected to the cloud, screw it. Why not? Update. I thought it was in LAN mode. Probably that one then. But yeah, you can sell Voron parts. You can do whatever you want with your printed parts. Just don't try to pass them off as PIF parts. This right here, this printer, all the parts on it are printed on a bamboo. Print at 50% speed though. But yeah, all the parts here were printed on a bamboo for this machine. They work. It's fine. I don't know. I could have sworn I had it in LAN mode. I thought I put both of them into LAN mode, but I guess not. This printer's been off for a while because, again, the fan is loud. And it's on all the time. So, yeah. There were the XY joints had issues with not being as strong as I would like them. Yeah, slower is better layer adhesion. Yep. Remember, just because you can print fast doesn't mean you should. If you're printing silk, you don't want to print fast. If you're printing anything that you require good layer adhesion, you don't want to print fast. The faster you go, the more aggressive an input shaper you're usually running. Like, it's hit and miss. There are times when printing fast makes sense. Not all the time. Speed isn't everything. And you want to know what the fastest printer is? More printer. This setup right here, these four, and a Prusa Mark III printed a full set of Mandalorian armor and the blaster in a week. I run these at the 60, 90, 120 profile. Not even that fast. Can't get ABS to stick to a glass bed. You need to do a slurry. Melt a little bit of scrap ABS and some acetone, brush it on your bed, let it dry, and then print on it. Or glue stick or something. Did I ever find the cam locks? No, I'm gonna have to print some new ones. Yeah, the after Murph COVID week prints. Yeah, when I was stuck in the basement for a week there with the COVID, I probably should take a COVID test. I feel fine, and nobody that I know. So apparently somebody tested positive, but nobody that I know who I hung out with a bunch there tested positive. So I'm just gonna assume I'm clean. Just roll the dice. Or stop using glass. That's another thing. The fastest printer is the one that's on your bench loaded with the filament you need. Because honestly, depending on the type of stuff you do, I honestly don't care about speed on a printer. It's nice to be able to go fast. And there is a certain point where it's like, okay, hurry up. But for me, a print is, I hit start and then I come back the next day half the time or later in the afternoon. Like I never unless I'm printing something on stream, which half the time I don't print it on this machine because this machine has a 15-minute startup time. So it takes forever to the bed to heat up. Then it's got to do its thing every time. Then it's got to mesh the bed. So even though this machine prints faster than this machine starts up quicker. So if it's like a little thing I got to print, I'll print it on this machine. But very rarely I'm under a crunch where it's like, I need this now. So speed has never been like the biggest factor when it comes to me, which printer I'm going to use. Reliability. Yeah, I run the same profile on all my Vorons. That profile spits out a 40-minute benchy, roughly. That's fast enough. I've never felt the need to go faster. It's nice to be able to do it when you do need to do it. But again, I don't run a print farm. I have multiple machines, so I could print, I could print a full set of Voron parts in a day if I wanted to. I've got multiple machines. It's not an issue. So one single machine going fast is like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad we're finally past the point of a V-wheel bed flingers being the norm. Now we're moved on to enclosed Core XYs. Yay. Just hopefully they can unfuck their firmware issues they all seem to have. But yeah. Do you ever use your Tridex? It is reliable. I don't have a Tridex. I have a Trident, and I do use it occasionally. But usually I only use it when I print something big. That Trident, when the XL shows up, we'll be replacing that one on my bench. Because the Trident, or if it fits on my bench, that is. Hopefully it fits on my bench. Otherwise, I'm out of problems. But yeah, the XL will be going there. I'm hoping I have the garage set up by then. Why do I use my 2.4 over the Trident? That's a 350. And it doesn't have as many hours. Honestly, I just trust this one more. I personally prefer my V2s. This machine has thousands and thousands of print hours on it. It's been every variation of the Voron V2. That's my printer. That's the printer I use. So we'll be able to fix the XL. No, you can't. We tried. An XL won't fit in, it will fit in a V24, but it won't sit on the bed, which means it's not going to fit on my bench because my bench is 24 inches. So I got to figure out what the heck I'm doing for that. Home all. Just replace the bamboo. I like the bamboo. As you know, regardless of what some people say on the internet, and while I do have issues with the machine, they're mostly issues with the way things are. It's more like quality of life things I don't like, and some things that the company does, such as, locking the printer's functionality, some of the functionality to using the cloud system for monitoring and software updates. I don't like that. I don't approve of that. No. But it's the best multi-color printer I have right now. Seriously. Although that AMS is jammed. I got to take that AMS apart because filament broke in it, and it's completely non-functional right now. Because when you turn it on, it will constantly try to load from filament port 1. It can't. Okay, let's put you in LAN mode. Network, LAN mode. Enabling LAN mode will disable connectivity with Bamboo Studio and Bamboo Handy. Yes. So let's connect you to your network. Bamboo Studio. We want tool changing. That's why I'm waiting on the XL. So where's my printers? Recent device. Oh, yeah. So there's the X1. So we're connected to the X1. Yeah, like the fact that I can't, this is on my LAN, my in-home local area network with a several $100 Ubiquiti Wi-Fi 6 router. I've got all the throughput that I need, yet I can't stream the webcam anymore because it's in LAN mode, because I don't want my stuff going to the cloud. So because, you know, hey, I'm printing something for somebody, and that the thing I'm printing, they want to verify, they want to ensure it doesn't go public. ITAR, NDA, whatever. I can't risk it going to the internet. Now I can't monitor that printer. I can't. They've done this on their own. They've decided to lock camera support behind their cloud service. Why? Why? Like, is it the hardware just can't render a camera, so they have to upload it to the cloud to render it there, and then render it down to the Bamboo? I don't know. So, anyways, so these are cool because you can change the colors on them. So that was my design, which was all blue. But the problem is I got like a dead NeoPixel. It's got like one dead channel, so I just left it on like rainbow mode half the time, which just because it hid the dead NeoPixel. Doesn't really show up on camera too good. Yeah. So that was cool. I think it's about the spaghetti detection. They didn't think about it. I don't know. The spaghetti detection wasn't even active on this printer when they first came out. It was an after release update. It's just super annoying that like I can't use this printer with everything that they advertise unless I want to connect to their cloud. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not that, and here's the thing. It's not that I don't trust them. It's I don't trust what happens when somebody hacks them and leaks it all on the internet. Like, I can't wait for whoprinted.what.com to show up when Creality Cloud or Bamboo Studio or any of these other cloud services get hacked. And you could see a searchable list of every user that's registered, along with every print they've ever printed, along with every captured time lapse. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Will I do a vid stream when input shaper works? Yes, I don't know. That's honestly one of the things I'm kind of like, what the heck, Prusa? Why isn't there input shaper? They've demoed it. They've shown it's functional. Why isn't it on the firmware? Like that's something I'm a little like, what the heck is going on there, guys? Come on. Like, I don't know how long it takes to test it, like to verify the functionality, like at least have it as an optional feature that, like, you know, a beta firmware that people can opt into testing. But the fact that you've demoed it, it's a selling point of the printer, and you don't have input shaper on it. Like, you've completely, like, come on, guys. Like, come on, what's holding it up? That, I don't like that. With things like Fusion, he may, who knows? Well, apparently their cloud service uses Amazon Web Studio. There are web services for North America, at least. but they sell. So Pantone, my thinking is for, here's the thing with input shaper. Input shaper is, how do I word this? If you run input shaper on a printer that's sitting on my bench here, and then I move it from this bench, which isn't bolted to the wall, to that bench, technically the input shaper graph changes, okay? But it's a curve, okay? So I'm gonna pull up my super high-tech graphing software here. So okay, so here's the input shaper curve, okay? So without input shaper, imagine this is like baseline performance here, okay? So here's baseline performance, okay? So with input shaper, and it's properly tuned, you're getting the max performance right here, okay? But as your input shaper kinda is incorrect, so again, you tuned it on a wobbly bench and now you have it on a rigid bench, or you tuned the printer like a Mark III or a Mark IV printer where you have two spools on top of it, you tuned it with those on, and now they're empty, so the weight changed. So this is a perfect input shaper here, most optimal. And as you move away from how the printer was tuned, because you want to tune it as it runs, so as that spool empties, or as you moved it to a sturdier or more wobbly bench, you're gonna be off a bit, but you're still gonna be above no input shaper. Okay, I've tested this. I've run input shaper on the Trident here on this bench, and then over on that sturdy bench that's bolted to the wall. The number changed like by half. It went from like 63.5 to like 64 or 63. I can't remember. It does change, but is that change something you're personally going to ever notice? Especially if you're not running it at the actual limit. Like if it's like, oh, you can run at 8K XL. If you're running at 6K XL, well, you're not near the limit already. So what I'm thinking they're probably going to do for the input shaper on the Mark IV, it will just be a default number. Because I can you don't need the accelerometer to run input shaper. You need the values that the accelerometer give you. So what they could do is, here are the default, it's like a PID tune. Here are the default input shaper values for a Mark IV. They might have a couple different variables, so you can like A, B, C, D numbers, okay? Do print a test with 1 enabled. Does that look better than 2? Does that look better than 3? Does that look better than 4? Whatever print looks the best, here's a test print that we've calibrated it for. Print off these 4 with these 4 different values. Look at it, pick whichever one you think, and run that input shaper tune. You don't need the accelerometer. You need the values that the accelerometer gives you. And if all the printers are the same, all the input shapers should be pretty close. That's kind of a thing. And then what they also do is, for those that want to, you know, run, like they want to tweak and tune and they really want to go in there and they're not happy with the pre-selected values, this is the accelerometer we use. You can buy it, or you can buy, get the accelerometer itself off the shelf and just make a wiring harness. YOLO, have fun, tune it yourself. I would be happy with that way, because most people, again, will just run it how it comes from the factory. Let's be honest, most people run their printers stock. Yeah, any input shaper is better than no. Yeah, so I don't know if it's just they're trying to figure out the values that work for everyone type thing, or what, or I don't know. You can even just do the print and judge method. That's how Marlin does it, where you just print something and it's like pressure advance, where it changes the values progressively through the print. And you look at the print, and whatever looks the best, you get out your ruler and you measure it and you go, these are the values. So they could just do that. You don't need the accelerometer. However, it is the most accurate way of doing it. I know the print's done. But if all your printers are controlled and they're all the same, the difference is less. On a Voron, for example, every Voron is built by somebody. And who knows what components they use. I'm sure most LDO kits have roughly the same input shaper tunes if the belts are the same. But this guy didn't use used really shitty ABS with bad layer adhesion, so the parts aren't the greatest. Or this person used the $99 AliExpress kit with the bearings are all shit and the belts don't have fiberglass in them. So this is a really shitty benchy. So fun fact, hexagonal filament does not a good benchy make. Just a little inconsistent. Real-time closed loop. The thing is, I've never had a layer shift on my printers here that I normally run. So what do I get with closed loop? Other than louder steppers. Although they're quieter now, apparently. So increased cost. What else do I get? The round window should be hexagonal. Oh, wait, let me find it. Let me find it here. Let me find it. Ah, I know what print I gotta print. Print. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No. There's a benchy print that is all made out of blocks. Haha! No remixes. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Because remember, you are not allowed, according to the license of the Benchy, the official Benchy license on the official Benchy website, you are not allowed to modify the Benchy STL and redistribute it. You are violating the Benchy license. I'm going to run it at 75% speed just because it is overhangs. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. And turn into the speed Benchy race. What can you do? You can remix for personal use. You're not allowed to redistribute modified STLs. Where is it? About license. You are free to download the Benchy file, do as you please, give away and even sell Benchies, publish images and videos of your Benchies, redistribute the unmodified STL as you please, such as hosting it, blah, 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 blah. So you are not allowed, so you're only allowed to redistribute the unmodified. The moment you redistribute a modified Benchy file, you are violating the Benchy license. But they don't enforce it. So it's a use it or lose it thing. Because if it were to go to court now, anyone in court, you know, after getting completely screwed over in legal fees and probably in debt for life after that, they could argue, hey, they haven't been protecting their license here for years. It's been an open thing forever and they've never enforced it before. Ergo, they don't actually have a right to the license anymore. And it's a public thing now. That's happened in the past. That's why every time like a company sues like an indie developer, like Nintendo sues an indie developer for coming out with a game. Well, one, that's because the Nintendos are dicks when it comes to that. But two, if you don't protect your IP and your patents and your trademarks, they can argue in court that these aren't being defended. Ergo, they don't care about it. It's kind of a shitty thing, but it is. Not true in all countries, obviously. I am not a lawyer, so I'm sure there's little finite things that may be incorrect. That's why companies don't like when their name is used as a verb. So like Google, when you Google something, Google doesn't want you to use Google because that lessens their validity of their owning of the term Google, right? Or the name Google. Kleenex is now a generic term. It's just Kleenex. Same with Band-Aid. So companies, that's why Nintendo ran a campaign in the, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, where they, you know, put out ads saying it is a entertainment system. It is not a Nintendo, because everyone, all the moms were calling any video game console a Nintendo. And they did not want that because, again, it's Nintendo and they're super crazy about lawyering up with their IPs. So they, you know, put out ads saying it is an entertainment system, not a Nintendo, because they didn't want Nintendo become the generic name for video game consoles. Yep, Velcro. Yeah, it's a thing. Lenovo had to protect their license that framework. What was the framework thing? I kind of am tempted to maybe get a framework, at least one of the Ryzen ones, so it has a GPU. Moms would call them PlayStations, yeah. So what was the framework thing with Lenovo? Salt Lake Comic Con are the only convention that can't use Comic Con. Oh. Huh. Oh, it was a similar logo. It's funny, there's a company that happens to have a logo that's very similar to the MZBot logo that the Voron design team uses. And I'm pretty sure the Voron one's older. Power button logo, eh. The old framework logo. Let me see this, framework. Lenovo. Lenovo sends a cease and desist over their stylized letter O. Oh, so the Legion has this, and framework had this? Literally that on a printed part. So they're open for anyone to use 3D printed part because this had 3 prongs and people were comparing it to Legion. Wow, that's stupid. But that shows you it's kind of like you have to defend it. Anything that could be, yeah, that's just, it's 3 lines in equal spacing on a circle. But you have to defend it. The moment a lawyer says, hey, you should probably have to defend it, you have to defend it. Yeah, so you just got to change the design. I'm sure there was zero intention there. It was literally, it's got to flex a bit. So let's just have 3 prongs equal spacing. It's not patent law, it's a trademark design. There's difference between patents and trademarks and IP. There's all kinds of, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not American. So I'm sure there's like differences and whatnot, but yeah. Ooh. So when I do go to Rapid, I gotta go meet the Pantheon folks because apparently they got one of these for me. It's like, yeah, the Pantheon, I got no problem simping for that machine. That machine, it's a work of art. It's beauty. I have no problem simping for Pantheon. That machine is something. As somebody from a machining tool maker background, that machine, ugh. And it's Canadian, eh? How much does it cost for a Pantheon? More than I could afford. Way more than I could afford. And I can't justify it in any way. It was enjoyable watching Joel. Yeah, Joel's been doing good stuff. I really like. He texts me on Friday morning. He's like, "The Voron team like the Voron video." I'm like, "Yes, they like the video." All happy. He loves that printer. He did a good job on it. Mandic really helped him a lot. Or I like they paired up really good. They did a very good job on that video, both of them. So, am I going to Murph this year? I am. I don't know what I'm gonna do though. So Murph is easy for me to get to. Hotels are cheap and I can drive. Going to Murph is easy. If any company wants to help offset the costs and sponsor it, let me know. But the thing is, it's the same people at all these events. So I just filmed a bunch of videos at Murph. I'm gonna be filming more videos at Rapid. So what the heck am I gonna do at Murph? I might do here's the thing, Joel already does his 60-second thing with like all the independent people, like the people who don't have booths, just the creators and the makers that show up to show off their things. So Joel already does that. So I don't want to copy his idea. So I need to figure out something to do. Enjoy myself. Yeah, but I need to make, oh shoot. Okay, that explains it. I'm under extruding. So this is extrusion. This is the one I want to play with. So I was under extruding those first few layers. Oh well. Go dress as stealth burner. I might, if I can finish it, because I got to finish the soft stuff, I might bring the Mando armor. I might. As Joel patted it. I don't like to double dip. I don't like to double dip. That's why I don't do tutorials on like anything Ender related. People have used to ask, it's not so much anymore, but people used to ask me all the time to do like tutorials on setting up and like leveling an Ender bed. I'm like, Chep does that. Chep is great at that. Go watch Chep. He's already done it. Go watch him. Would you recommend do on an Ender 3 S1 Pro? You go. What I recommend as your first upgrade for your printer is to go buy yourself some nice filament and print with it for a while. Find out what's good on your printer or what's bad, because the problem with a lot of time with these budget printers, sometimes they're great out of the box. Sometimes you got to fix stuff. Print with it first with good filament. Don't cheap out. Get some good stuff. Polymaker, for example, you might win some if you want to buy some. Link in the description. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Goes a long way in supporting the channel. But print with the printer for a while first, then look into modding it. Don't go modding right off the gate, because here's the thing. You might mod something that didn't need to be modded, you wasted money, or the printer might have an issue that you're now trying to troubleshoot. Is it the mod that did it, or is the printer kind of messed up from the beginning? Print with it stock for a while. You can record at Rapid because you're press. That didn't stop me last year. I recorded at Rapid last year and I just had a normal pass. This year though, somehow I media. Started at the bottom, now we're here. I got a media pass for Rapid this year. Yeah. So Rapid's gonna be fun. I fly out at 8:20 a.m. out of Detroit. So it's an hour drive to the airport with the border and whatnot. So get up at 5. Get a quick shower, out the door at 5:30. Get to the airport at, see, here's the thing. I'm always paranoid. I always get there early. So if I leave at like 6, get to the airport at 7, then I have to go through security, 7:30, airport at 8. But if something happens at the border, I'm screwed. So I'm probably gonna get to the airport, like, I'm gonna leave home at 5:30, get to the airport at 6:30. To security at 7. That gives me time to eat breakfast or something there. Fly out at 8:20. And the best part is I fly out at 8:20. I land at 8:45 because it's an hour behind and it's an hour flight. Oh, did you guys go on a trip? Oh, it's a good boy. What's that? Oh, it's a good boy. Are you a good boy? Look at those pets. Oh, thank you. There you go.
Well, one's a caramelized coffee, one's normal.
Oh.
They did not label them, and they taste about the same.
That's caramel.
Okay.
I'm assuming you wanted the caramel.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm like, they didn't label it or anything.
Thank you. What?
You see what's being done.
You want to sit on the chair? Okay, we might have a guest. Is he going to grab his blanket? Oh. We might have a guest for a little bit. This room is way too much of a mess for a guest, but we'll make do. Make it work. Did you have a good day? Okay. Where's the filament coming from? It's coming from, I have it on that spool holder. That a new color? No. The Impossible Project objects. I've seen them before. They're the one that do the layer thing and then they cut it out, or they do the layers and then it's like impregnate or epoxy impregnate or whatever, and then they like sandblast away. I've seen them. I seen them last year. Oh, what are you wearing? Did you go get your apron? Oh, and I got the pupper here too. What's that? Okay, don't touch. It's making a boat. Do you have your apron? Here, show everyone your apron.
Apron.
You got an apron too.
Daddy, and I was going on the apron.
Yeah, Daddy has an apron.
What is that?
That's a ruler. It's for measuring stuff. How big is the boat?
Oh, Dad.
How many? How big is the? So, put it there. All the way. 40?
Yeah.
The benchy is 40. Here, how big is that? An SVO6 coming. There is. They reached out to me. It's a V-wheel bed flinger. I declined it. I told them they were going the wrong way. They need to go back to what they're doing with the SVO6. They're like, it's not clipper though. I'm like, I don't care. You're going the wrong way. Just put clipper on the SVO6, and guess what? That's what they're doing, it looks like. Which we've done already. The cuteness. Hey, what kind of apron is this? Where did you get this apron? Do you remember? Oh no! You dropped it. Here you go. Here, can you screw it back together?
That way or that way?
Oh, wrong button. Is that how it goes? No, you got it backwards. Other way. Nero from 2 years ago. I wish I had that much hair. It's getting thin. It's getting thin. Small version of the SVO6 Plus. That's just the SVO6. That's just the SVO6. They make a non-plus version of it. It's the normal version. Use keeps. Nah, I don't care. I got the beard, so I think I think I could shave the head and be okay. I don't know. I wear hats a lot, so it's not a huge issue. Any review in the Pad 7? No, because I have a Pad 5. And honestly, the crappy part is about the review. It would be the most boring video I did, because guess what? It's just the CM4 with the touchscreen. There's like nothing to talk about. It's here are the specs. It's a CM4 with the touchscreen. Ooh, don't touch that. Don't touch that. That
is.
Those are for Daddy's lavalier mics. Can you say wireless lavalier mic? No, don't play with that cable. So I was gonna do a video on the Pad 5. They sent me. Oh, don't touch the printer. So I was gonna do a video on the Pad 5, and I have a bunch of footage recorded for it. I started editing it and like recording the A-roll. It's boring because all it is like, here are the specs. Here's some pictures of it. This is how you install Clipper on it, which it's the eMMC version. So it's a little bit different. So it's like 30 seconds about how to install Clipper. And then once it's installed, it's Clipper screen and Clipper. I've already got a video on how to install Clipper. I already got a video on Clipper screen. It's the same thing. It's just one package instead of two. So yeah, it's a printer. Is it making a boat? Yeah. So I didn't make a video on it, and I don't think that can't remember if they reached out to me to offer me one, but I was like, I would use it in a product. I wouldn't make a video on it because the video would just be boring. Because all it is, this is how you install Clipper. You know how to install Clipper. This is how you do Clipper screen. I've already got a video on Clipper screen.
Yeah.
All they are is just. See? Here, can you count? So what's after 60?
70, 80, 90, 100.
What's that one?
Oh, under and down. And under 20, and under 80, and under 40, 180.
Yeah, good job. Disadvantage to 0.164 on parts. Do 0.2 because all boron parts are designed with 0.2 layer height and 0.4 nozzle width in mind. So you might run into issues where the more layers that the stronger parts are thicker. You'll get weaker parts with less than 0.2, not by much, but you still do. And bigger nozzles, you might not get the same amount of walls and whatnot, and geometry might not work out, but everything's designed with a certain wall thickness in mind and a height in mind. So. Okay. You gotta go see Mama. You wanna work? What do you wanna work on? You're gonna fall off that chair. You're distracting the audience. That's what you're doing.
No.
No, you got to go see Mama. There we go. He has to go take care of something. You won't be seeing him on camera long. He's already at the, I'm on the internet. This is YouTube. There's a reason Linus's kids aren't on videos anymore. At a certain point, you just stop showing the family. It's the internet. It is what it is. But right now, he's just like, I want to go help Daddy. And then he goes upstairs and gets his apron, which is cute. I got a LinkedIn now, by the way. If you're on LinkedIn, I guess, I don't know. If you want to do the LinkedIn thing, I don't know. I'm not going to post links to it or anything, but I got a LinkedIn now. Some people. Thoughts on SKR boards? They work. They work. Here's the thing. You want to know what the best board you can put in your printer is a Duet, but they're pricey. So everyone uses Big Tree Techs and SKRs. They work. They just sometimes have QC issues, and Big Tree Tech kind of has a habit where their first revision of something has issues. I'm with KMK. What's KMK? Also, I got a LinkedIn because right now, unfortunately, most of my contacts when it comes to contacting like connections in this industry is on Twitter. Twitter is a dumpster fire, so it'd be nice to have a backup. What is the smooth time? It's 0.4. It's whatever default is. I don't think we haven't, so that's what we were going to, I don't know if we're going to play, we might play with this on Saturday. I don't know, we'll play with something on Saturday. Or depending on how many people enter for the contest, the community challenge. I don't think we have a ton of entries, so I don't think we'll get 3 hours out of it. But TLDR, this needs input shaping and pressure advance done. So yeah. How can we find me, Taylor? I'm not sharing my last name unless you need to know it. And honestly, for LinkedIn, I'd prefer, LinkedIn is going to be strictly business for me. So if you're like in a completely unrelated field, I won't follow back. I'm keeping the LinkedIn thing strictly business kind of thing. Oh, we've already the Konami, the BTT Konami. Okay, let me pull it up here. Let me pull it up here. Okay. So they have this, a Konami. Okay. It's a modified stealth burner front face. It's got a cute little anime screen in front of it, you know, uwu. So it like, apparently it's a little bit better for airflow, I guess. Sure, whatever. But here's the thing with Konomi, or Nomi, or is the case silent? Okay, so where do they have a link to the actual product? Okay, where can I find an actual link to the product? Like, I want a front-facing picture of it. Okay, so we got the Nomi. Why did they trying to make it a hashtag too? I'm trying to find an actual picture of it. Okay, I guess not. So, here's the problem with Nomi. I've got nothing against Nomi. I think it's again very cute, ooh. But here's the problem with Nomi, Konomi, whatever the heck it's called. Okay, so let's. Can I not? Oh. Okay, whatever. We'll make this work. Okay, ready? Ready? Okay. Here's Nomi. It's super cute. Okay, cool. What's displayed on the screen? Okay, what's displayed on the screen as your tool head's whipping around at 150 millimeters a second? Okay. I can't see the temperature. What percentage am I at right now? It's whipping around at 150 millimeters a second with 300 travels. Good thing I put a screen on my tool head. I already don't like Anchormate for putting the screen on something that moves in the Z. Now you have a screen on your tool head that's going woo. What? Like, imagine, like, this ain't too bad, but like, it's printing a benchy. Imagine if you're printing a full plate of parts on a 350. I honestly, it's undercar lighting. Don't get me wrong. Again, it's very cute, ooh, and if you want to do that, go for it. If it has improved air cooling, or as long as it doesn't, you know, it's UART to USB. Okay, it's got Wi-Fi apparently. I don't know why it needs Wi-Fi, but it does. As long as it's not detrimental. So it just displays the status of the printer. But again, it's whipping around at 150. Like, if the printer is moving and leveling, you know it's leveling. You can look at the screen for these ones. Ready to print, it's got the little face. Printing progress, again, whipping around at 100 millimeters a second or 300 millimeters a second. It's bling, okay? Remember, if I was across, the Voron booth was across from the Armchair Engineering. So they have a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Sometimes it is fun to do stuff just because, but a screen on the display, or a display on your tool head that's whipping around, that's strictly in the underglow lighting on your Supra territory, in my opinion. But if you want to go for it, go for it. Hopefully, as long as it's not detrimental to part cooling. So. Like 8 steppers. Yeah, because you know, you need 13 steppers in your Voron. No, it's a Voron. The Armchair Engineering had a Voron with 8 steppers on the XY. So basically, you know, everywhere where you have an idler, just put a motor there. Then you don't need an idler. YOLO. Because why not? Why not? $2240. They're just another version of the 2209s. Like they're fine motors. Like they're 2240s. I think are they're based on the 2209s. I think they're SPI. There's something there. I can't remember exactly what it is. As far as I'm aware, it's a non-issue. Like there's any TMC other. I don't know. Like I still need to know why Prusa stuck with the 2130s for the Mark IV. I still don't know why they did that. Forgot how long the threads on these are. And they have a giant barrel. Well, here's the thing. They're making their own PCBs in-house now. So I don't think they were making the old controllers in-house. So why would they have the 2130s on hand? 2240s could do 39 volts. That would make sense if you're running 36 volt. That's right. 2209s can only do up to 24. I believe. My power is out and on cell phone. OGK kid, that sucks. Hopefully your power comes back on. So I'm waiting on, I'm waiting on the monopod to come in. I hate waiting on stuff. I gotta buy a new mic sleeve because I think I am gonna bring this just in case I want to do some quick one-on-one interviews, but what print is the green one in the back? What green one? This, that. Greetings from Alberta. Hello there. What speeds do you recommend on the 2.4? The thing is shockingly small. So I'll show you right here. If you're looking for like known good speeds and feeds, this is what I run on a Revo. And I cap it to 18 millimeters cubed a second with ABS. PLA, I wouldn't push beyond 14 or 15. The P1P, that is the silk green that they set 8 spools of to me for some reason. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it all, but it's silk green and it doesn't like being printed fast. So I haven't used it much. Ellis's profile, that's another good option, is just run Ellis's profile to start. Coolest thing I saw at Remurf. So here's the thing, I've known about V24 for a while, obviously, I'm on the team. So there's that. The coolest thing I saw, probably the armchair printers, the armchair engineering printers. You know what I'm actually really happy to see? All the printers look good. A lot of people put time into making their printers actually look good now. Even like the Annex machines, all the printers for Ant's machine, all the crackpot designs they have over at Armchair Engineering that make no sense, that are not practical. They all looked good. Like everyone takes kind of pride in how their printer looks now. And I really do like that. I like to see that. I'm missing context, but 18 millimeters cubed on a Revo. Yeah, set it so that it's firmware or it's slicer limited, so it'll automatically ramp down, so you won't actually over extrude. That's on ABS, and this profile only hits near those speeds when it's extruding infill at 0.72. So I over extrude infill. Were there any VZ bots? I think there was 1 or 2 VZ bots, but they weren't there by, like, nobody, like, it was just people brought theirs. Yeah, we're printing hex filament. The overhangs aren't the greatest, but I don't think this angle, this camera, or this print is meant to look like this. Is not a real print, I don't think. Temperature I print ABS at? 250 to 260 usually. I print hot. I usually print hot. And use good quality ABS. Like from Polymaker. Although actually I have been using some printed solid, or no, not printed solid. I've been using printed solid PLA. I don't have printed solid ABS. David won't make any. But the Polymaker stuff prints good. 48 volt rat rig at Fabrico. Yeah, they had a rat rig. They had some rat rigs too. No, this isn't the illegal benchy. This is a normal benchy, but I'm printing with the Prusa hex filament, so it's coming out a little blocky. Uh, 2240s transition from stealth chop to spread cycle. So that would not be useful for me. I run pure spread cycle. I don't run stealth chop at all on my printers. Sparta 3D. Sparta 3D is good stuff. Their sparkle has been pretty good to me. Their Galaxy filaments have been pretty good. Their ABS is stiff, I find. So I found it's more likely to crack, but at the cost of, or the benefit of it's stiffer, I found, than most pure ABSs. But it's not a huge deal. I just Googled benchy, and it was like one of the first ones, I think. I looked it up earlier in the stream. I can't remember what I searched for it on printables. It is called the blocky benchy on printables. How do I like the Revo? The Revo is my go-to hot end right now. it has been the smoothest sailing hot end I've used so far in 3D printing. Full disclosure, I do have some that were sent to me by E3D and other vendors. I have purchased some of my own though. Yeah, they just work. I've had one die on me, and that was the filament. I started getting thermistor issues after it got a little jammed up after Cloud of Doom, and I twisted the whole head trying to unscrew the nozzle, and I think I broke the wires. So I think I killed it, but I've had one die on me from thermistor issues. Yeah, other than that, they've been all solid. So for a non-high flow printer, is there anything you'd recommend other than Revo? Honestly, if you're not worried, even if you're worried about high flow, don't wait too much longer. For most printers, a Revo, like a standard Revo, is fine. It's like you won't run into issues. They have multiple different heat sinks, so they're compatible with multiple different designs. Obsidian, you don't think the average person isn't going to kill an Obsidian. It'll last a while. Like, I don't know if I have a wire brush, but you could take a wire brush to these. Like the Obsidian isn't like Nozzle X. Like the actual finish on this is really hard. So you're not gonna wear it out. Yeah, like you saw me change the nozzle earlier there. Like you're not. Like I'm cleaning off like caked on carbonized ABS with a screwdriver, and I'm not scratching the finish. On a belt printer, if one shows up, I would love to play with a belt printer, but you know, what is it? The CR30 is like the most common one, and it's like $1,000, so it's kind of like. I don't have room for it. Good glow in the dark filament. I haven't used a lot of it, so I can't really recommend anything. My guess is high flow will be announced in May. They have a teaser on their Discord. E3D, where is it on their Discord? Where it be? Where is their teaser at? Do they have an announcement page? 3DP News. Oh. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, this is the 4 belt or 4 motor thing that Annex had, or not Annex, Armchair had. Said there will be some news in May. What's in May? I don't know what's in May. I don't know what they would be announcing in May, or why would they announce stuff in May. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, next week, I'm really looking forward to going to Rapid on May 2 to May 4th. It's gonna be really fun. I think E3D has a booth there. I wonder what they got. Star Wars Day. Yeah, Star Wars Day. That's in May. Speaking of, I was talking with somebody on the Voron team yesterday. So for those curious about, if you're wondering what kind of event Rapid is, okay. Exhibit. Floor plan. Okay, so for those wondering what kind of event Rapid is, here's the floor plan for Rapid next week. This is a 460,000 square foot hall. If you went to Rocky Mountain, that was 18,000 square feet. Or was it? No, yeah, 18,000 square feet. This is 460,000. It's big. It's big. Like, there's a Stratasys booth. This food court is actually elevated, and it seats 6,000 people. And this is an elevated food court. If you've been to the Detroit Auto Show, that event is held at the, what is it called now? I call it the Cobo Center. I think it's Huntington Place. It's the same venue, like same size, roughly. Where is Rapid? It's in Chicago. And it's a trade show. Like, it's a straight up trade show. It's not like a rep fest. Nobody's bringing their benchies and their enders here. These are like full on massive companies. Like, this is, you know, this is a trade show. There's Mark Forge, GE Additive. This is where Bill hides out. Forum Labs. Like, this is a trade show. So. Where is Rapid? Yeah, no, it moves around. I loved it when it was in Detroit last year because it's a half-hour drive for me. Like, it's like I just drive there and I come home at night. It's great. Yeah, Polymaker got a decent sized one. There's Polymaker. So Polymaker's there. Nexa's there. Where's Velo? I gotta find Velo because I got a meeting with them. I've got Velo and MassFit. No one's good. Yeah, nobody's walking around with a Delta on their backpack here. Prusa got a big one too. And E3D is somewhere. E3D doesn't have a huge one, but they don't really need a huge one. I know I did videos at Rapid last year. If you want to go check them out. Yeah, Prusa will be there. Could you go? Okay, so it's technically not open to the public. You need an invite, or you need to buy a ticket. It's a $100 ticket. However, if you are a vendor or if you're attending as media, I think we can send out free invites. I don't know if I would have to. I'll post the link in the Discord if anyone wants to. You can get in. Like, I think Jason has shared his on Twitter for LDO Motors. So you can get in. It's not hard to get in as a civvy. But it is a trade show. Like, it's a trade show. It's not like it's not a rep fest. So just need a week. It takes a while to walk around. Is Creality? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out. Creality. Exhibitor list. Nope, they got a booth. Yeah, Creality's there. Is Bamboo? Nope, Bamboo is not. What's that? Oh, that's a hotend. What a random hotends up there. Nothing high is fast than a heart. I can't. Hope they don't bring the laser again. That was hilarious. Is Vor on there? No. No, these booths are I don't think the booths are cheap. And Voron has no, because this is all companies. Like, this is a trade show. There are companies here, and like it's a trade show. Like, you go here to buy stuff and look at technology that your company drops 200 grand on. This isn't like, oh, you want to build a DIY open source rep wrap. Pantheon. Yes, Pantheon is here. Where's their booth at? Pantheon. Where are you guys at? They're over here. There we go. The Pantheon's right here. Next to Slice. Okay. EDM. Ooh, EDM's cool. So here's the thing. I'm going to be doing videos here, but I'm doing the videos as kind of just like, obviously this is pretty much everything in this room is outside of our budgets. Let's be honest. So I'm going to be doing a video on, like, you know, 3D printed rocket engines and like a 3D printer from MassFit you could walk into that they used to make molds. So this is all outside of our budget. So the content I'm going to be doing here is just going to be like, holy shit, this shit is cool. Look what they can do. It's not going to be like, I hope it doesn't come off as like trying to sound promotional for these companies, but I really want to show you guys, because like I come from a mold making background. I've seen some of this. I've been to trade shows like this before. It's just really cool shit to just expose yourself to. It's like, yes, you know, you're not going to be buying an at-home EDM machine, but they are kind of cool, and this is how they work. So that's kind of the kind of content I want to do at these places. I hope it doesn't come off as like, because I've heard from other people that have covered content at these, I'm not going to name names, but I've heard like the responses some creators have gotten from covering these kind of events is it sounds like a commercial. And I don't want it to sound like a commercial. I want to go like, holy shit, this stuff is cool. Look what they're capable of when you have, you know, $100,000 budget. Look what they can do. And it's just cool to see. So yep, Fabrasonic will be there too. That was one of the funnest booths I went to, because I just wandered in there and I'm like, hey, what do you got? And I talked with like the head engineer guy there. And I was like, it just went down the rabbit hole. I still have their demo things somewhere. I don't know where I put it. DIY CNC and a Haas. I think I have an invite to talk to DMG Mori, or at least they're putting on a conference that I've got an invite to. That'll be cool. So what I'm probably gonna do, I'll probably film a walkthrough. So if you're a member of the channel, last year I put out a video. I don't know if I ever made it public. It might have been just members only, where it's just an hour-and-a-half video of me just walking up and down all the aisles with the camera. That's all it is. I'm gonna do one of those this year. I'll make it public. It's probably gonna hurt my YouTube numbers because it's gonna be an hour-and-a-half video of just me walking around a trade show. But I'll put one of those out, and I want to do at least 2 videos on just interviews and talking to people. Who knows, more or less. I really don't have any like plans. The plan is at least 3 videos. I don't know if I can live stream there because of this type of what kind of thing this is. I don't know if I can live stream. So if I can't live stream, I will do just a VOD of walking through everything with the GoPro. And then hopefully 2 videos. So with with Remurf, I have enough content to do 2 more videos. So there'll be 2 videos, a video this Saturday, and probably next Saturday will be things I recorded at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. So. I'm walking here. Also, that setup for the live stream. So yes, the live stream that I did at Remurf, it did cut out a few times. There were a few dead spots in the Wi-Fi, but otherwise I think that went really well. So for the setup for that, what I actually had was I had the GoPro. I was streaming from the GoPro and I had the lav connected. So I sounded really good, I think. And the video was pretty good. So I was actually really happy on how that worked for live streaming. So future live stream setups will be using that setup. And then I didn't end up using it, but I had the other lav mic in my pocket. So if I stopped to talk to anyone, I could turn it on and they could like get in. So is Dye's design going to be there? I think so. They were last year. Nope, they don't have a booth this year. They had a booth last year, I think. Or was that IRF? It might have been at IRF. In Ontario. Really, I've looked. I wish there was a RepRap Fest in Toronto or the GTA area. There's none. There's a Maker Fair in Calgary. That's a bit of a drive. So it was good. Instead, used data from working. Okay, so the cell phone wasn't great in there. It was okay, but I had better, faster connection on the Wi-Fi. It's just there were a few dead spots. It is what it is. There's a Maker Fair in Quebec. Well, that's still 12 hours for me. Time to set one up. It's not that easy. It is not that easy. But yeah, like there's Revo Point 6K additive, E3D, Nexa. What is Nexa again? Supply chain stuff, Meltio, XJet, 3D Systems, Ascentium. There's Polymaker, HP, EOS, Stratasys, GE Additive. They do some Gucci stuff there. Markforged, Form Labs, 3D X-Tex, Proto Labs, Massifit, Nano Dimensions. I think Printed Solid has a booth. Printed Solid has a booth too. Actually, no, they don't. Okay, good. Make sure my old company doesn't have a booth. eSun, Meld, Joel's got a booth. Vetus has a booth. Vetus has been doing pretty good. I'm quite happy with the Rapido. There's Prusa. After they I think they kind of got smart and stopped playing around with the patent stuff with the slice stuff and kind of cut their own teeth on their own product. They've been actually doing pretty good. There's Printed Solid. So there's quite a bit here. There's quite a bit. LDO has a booth. Yep, LDO has a booth. Where is theirs at? Because I didn't film anything with LDO or Polymaker at Remurf, because I'm going to film it with them here. Okay, there is LDO's booth. There you go. Oh, he's got his logo on it. Fancy. What's the E? What does the E mean? I don't know what the E means. Does it mean they paid more? Legend. Okay, what? I don't know what the E means. 6K additive. Are these companies that paid more? Because all the ones that have a logo have an E. Enhanced. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I think these are like the... Look at Jason. All those Voron dollars go into good use with Jason, eh? Extra special. Yeah. Extra special sponsor. Extra cool. Click the legend button. I did. It doesn't show what the E means. Like it doesn't show what the E means. Just E. I don't know what it means. Yeah, it just shows E. I'm assuming they're like a top tier, like a higher tier sponsor. You hover? No. It's upgraded icon.png. So they upgraded. So I'm assuming it's just like a higher tier sponsor. They probably get their like logo and the paperwork and everything. Take her in $2. E. Sponsor, media sponsors. Ooh. Am I on the list here? No. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to this. Marketing toolkit. I want to see how much it would have cost. Top attending employee companies. They probably don't have the prices. Yeah, they probably don't have the prices on here. This is you contact them and they tell you the prices. They don't list it. How long will I stream for? I'm probably gonna wrap it up pretty soon. So if you haven't entered for the chance to win some filament, link in the description. I'm kind of hungry. So. Let's wrap it open to the public. Yes, with an invitation, otherwise it's $100. So it's open to anyone, but it's not a public event. It's like, you know, you need to either know somebody there who got you in, or you pay $100 per day. Only US. I'm sure anyone from any country can go, but it's in Chicago, so. Enhanced promotions, maybe. Like, put it this way, I know how much a certain company I talk to often paid for their booth last year at Rapid, and it's many monies. It's like down payment on a car monies. So. Oh, the giveaway. No, the giveaway is worldwide. Anywhere that Polymaker ships to, the giveaway is open to. At least 350. Yeah, it's at least like $2, maybe a bit more. More than $2. I know that. More than $2. Bruce is doing a live stream right now? What are they doing a live stream about? Oh, they started. Oh, that's already over. Okay, this is what I want Prusa to do. These are the IX. This is their little print farm thing. They need to sell these individually because they got more build volume than a Mark IV and their Core XY and their single tool head, so you don't have all the extra increased cost. Also, this is a bitchin' background, just having all these printers running. I don't know what they're doing, but they need to sell the IX as an individual thing. Like, where is it? Where is it? Somebody linked a picture of it. This. Add some, you know, an extrusion here so that it's actually square and it can stand alone. Make this its own thing, Prusa. Why aren't you selling this thing as like between the Mark IV, like a premium Mark IV thing? Like IX. There's your Mark V. Sell it. Or I4 or whatever you want to call it. Make it its own thing. Because it's one square. I think it's a 300 bed. It's one square shorter than the it's still got the separated bed. I don't know, whatever the tech is. I can't remember the word. It's still got the independent bed thing, so it's got 3x3 instead of 4x4 on the XL. So I think it's 300 millimeters or 280 or something like that. And it's single tool head, so it's a simpler tool head. Segmented, that's the word. So make this its own thing, Prusa. Sell this on its own. It would like stop people being, you know, complaining about the price of the XL. Because really the XL in a single tool head is very hard to justify. Even the dually is. Especially at its price point. Obviously they do not do. No, this is a print farm thing. A lot of times when you're doing mass production print farm, it's usually lots of small parts. Like think about it, Voron. I know people that have built Voron specifically for PIF that have like 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter, like 150 millimeter of Z. Because if that's all you need, you build to a spec. So. I honestly, something fell. Oop. We're good. Is PIF lucrative? No. I was talking, there's somebody at PIF that they have 30 Tridents and they run them like nonstop for PIF. And they make beer money. It takes 36 hours to produce a set of Voron parts. If you got like your farm going full tilt, you're like one set of part every 36 hours. Is that profitable? Like PIF prices are not profitable. You would need a 30 something machines to be making money, and you're making less than minimum wage. Yeah, you're making less than minimum wage if you do PIF at the most. Nobody makes more than minimum wage doing PIF. You'll make more money going to McDonald's and slinging hamburgers. Bad business model. It's not meant to be a business model. It's supposed to help those that want to build Vorons but can't print the parts to be able to build Vorons. That is the point of PIF. Whenever this print finishes, we're ending the streak, by the way. If you want to make money selling printed parts, you need like a farm and you need to do like contract work. That's what it is. Like that's one of the things that Max was talking about. So Max RCF gave a little speech at Rocky Mountain Rep Fest. You know how they get the little booth there and they give out they do speeches. People do speeches. So one of the things he was talking about was the original, the V24. The V24 was commissioned by a company that needed to be able to print something that fits in a 24-inch volume. It was adapters, I think, for like an air conditioning system or something. They needed to print custom adapters for an HVAC system or something, and they needed 24-inch cube volume, and they needed to be able to print in ABS. The quoted cost to print something in ABS of that size was around $5,000. So if you want to commission a company to print you an ABS 3D print in that volume, they were charging around $5,000. Because it's very few people could do it, and it's not a high volume thing. So you need to be able to, you charge high to make up for the fact that you're not selling a lot of them, and it's specialty equipment. So within 2 prints, that paid off the machine. So it made sense for them to buy it. So if you had a V24 or a printer of that capability that could reliably print fully enclosed ABS parts, and you had the connections to get those, you know, contracts to print those things, you could on paper pay off that printer in 1 print. Like that's where the money is. But you need to know who, like, it's not like, you know, you put an ad in Kijiji. You need to know the companies that need those prints, and you need to be in their connections list and whatnot. So $400. Yeah, look at the price. Look at the prices to get a full set of Voron parts off like an actual like print service like 3D Hubs or whatever. It's ridiculous. Heating a whole bed. So V24 is ready to print ABS, and I think the beds heat up all together in 20 minutes, and at 30 minutes the chamber is hot enough, if I remember correctly. Remember, it's got the overkill. You think the Nevermore heats up a chamber? You should see what it has. It basically sucks heat from underneath and blows it up through 2 cartridges on the side. So it basically has a convection thing that Nevermore does. Plus, it's got 4 independent beds. Each are the 300 like by 300 spec 4-on beds. So they heat up sequentially. So one will heat up, and then when that heats up, the next one heats up. That way you don't blow a breaker too. How many benchies do I have? I don't know. I throw most of them out after like a couple days. Are there any non-heated bed types viable? Not really, because plastic, as it cools, contracts. And if you're printing something big, warping is a major issue. And it also has to do with the chamber. If you're printing PLA, you might be able to get away with it. But if you're printing like something ABS, you need a hot chamber for ABS to work at that size. But yeah, it's 610 by 610 by 600. I don't know the exact set. It depends. So, and people are wondering why it has drag chains. It is a CAN bus tool head on V24, so it only has 4 wires going to the tool head. The problem is the umbilical flopped everywhere, and at max height, it getting caught in the print. So that's why it has drag chains. The PTFE kind of gets out of the way, mostly. So that's why. So looks like we're wrapping up. We got like 10 minutes left. So anything else you want me to go over about Rocky Mountain, or anything you want to ask, or topics you want me to cover? So the chamber heater, you don't need, it'll get to 60 to 70 C in there just off the beds. Remember, it's got 4 beds. It's got 2,600 watts of heating in there. So all you do is you suck the air from underneath the bed and you blow it up the back, and it's actually a giant convection oven. You don't need a chamber heater. It heats it up well enough. And also 1/4-inch acrylic. Like that machine, when it was printing ABS, if you rested your hand on the machine, you couldn't hold your hand on it for long. The actual metal frame of the printer got so hot, like it got hot. Tap tool, and we talked about it at the beginning of the stream, the tap tool changer. TLDR, I've seen a few different tool changer designs for Warons that have been demoed over the years. I've yet to see one actually make it to the point of getting fully released. So if it does, congratulations, but I'm waiting. So. Was there Rocky Mountains? Yeah, you can see the Rocky Mountains from there. Let me see here. This was the view outside my hotel room. There are the Rocky Mountains. Is Garolite meant to warp at print temp, or have I bought a lemon? Garolite, the print will warp. If you're printing on Garolite and it starts to warp up, that's your print warping and popping it off the bed. That's what that is. As for if the material itself, I don't know. I've never actually used Garolite. What size nozzle? It had a 0.6 in it, and it had a Dragon high flow. Have I used a Super 8 board? I have not. Haltings, so I have a Cheaty X Smart 3. I don't have the bigger one. They asked me if I wanted the bigger one, and I declined it because I have really no interest in it. It's good on them for halting sales to fix it. You kind of have to in today's day and age. You need good PR, otherwise people will drop the company. And Cheaty's been a pretty decent company, I've understood from my understanding over the year when it comes to things. So it's good on them to fix it. They really need to unbork the stock firmware on the X Smart 3, so I'm not going to touch it until they do. So I don't suggest it for getting. Maker's Muse has a video on printing on Garolite G10. I'd suggest go watch that. I've never used it, so I print on spring steel flex plates with PI. What is dimensions? It's 120 cubed. It's a Dragon High Flow. It was a 0.6 CHT. So. Revo. Let's see. Oh, that's not high flow. Yeah, if you're talking about these are Revo for belt printers. They had those on the booth. Those are public. Yeah, those are for belt printers. Okay, there we go. So the overhangs aren't the greatest, obviously, but I'm gonna turn it 90 degrees and try printing it again. I'm gonna go even slower so it actually comes out good. So let's rotate. Print you like that. Slice now. Export, save. Upload and print. And I'm gonna run you at 50%. I want, because it's all overhangs. It's all overhangs. So I'm gonna print one off and then I'll share a picture of it tonight. But we're gonna call the stream there. We'll go to 5. We'll go to 5. So you got 10 minutes. So make sure you enter. And also, if you haven't yet, make sure you enter for the community challenge. So every month we do a community challenge live stream. This month, because it's April and it's the funny month because of the memes with the number dates and the April 1st and the 420 and whatnot. The contest is basically post a meme. So print a meme print and enter it. Or if something funny 3D printing related happened to you, or you took a picture of something you think is funny 3D printer related, or you made something 3D printer related that's not just a print, post it. There's 2 categories. So. All I know is yesterday, I was gonna stream yesterday, and then I didn't. I didn't do anything yesterday. I was so exhausted. That is the most exhausted I've ever been after an event ever. Like, it was insane how like just that weekend flew by. J Tower gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers. Yeah, it was that was a crazy weekend. It was fun though. So much fun. Passed out by 9 on Saturday night. Yeah, it was I was 2 hours behind, so I was all screwed up time-wise. Rapid is going to be fun too, because I fly in Tuesday morning for the event, and then I fly home Thursday right after the event. So, plans for Smurf. Plans for Smurf. So, Smurf. For those that don't know what Smurf is, Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Fest. I really want to go. Problem is, it's in December. It's the first week of December. It's the first weekend of December. It's the 2nd and the 3rd. That is for my wife's work. It's blackout period. She can't book time off. Also, there's like a 5-hour time delay, so I'm going to be all screwed up. But I'm contemplating it. Fly in Friday, fly out Monday, and just do a Rockstar weekend. And be completely jet lagged for the whole thing. But it's $800. Actually, I looked it up today. It's about 1,200 Canadian. I'm so tempted to. I got to figure out the logistics of it and figure out a sponsor. Or just YOLO it and eat the cost. We'll see. If I fly out like 2 p.m. here, and I land at 6:30 a.m. at Heathrow on Saturday. Take the trolley to Oxford, spend the day at the event, spend Sunday at the event, Monday, take the trolley back to Heathrow, and fly out and be home here at 10 p.m. on Monday. What is the cheapest Voron? V0 Seaboard kit. That would be the absolute cheapest. Bring the kids along. Oh, I only have one kid, and that increases the cost quite substantially once you start bringing multiple people to these events. So, I really want to make it work. The E3D crew is awesome. If you ever get the chance to hang out with the E3D crew, they're all awesome. And then it is the Sanjay Mortar Foundation, which is a great cause. Donate to it if you can. So I really want to go, but it's working on it. I'm working on it. What's my best quality reliable printer? My Vorons probably. Here's the thing, all printers print good. It just depends how fast you want to run them and your speeds and feeds and your tuning settings. Remember, they're all 3D printers, majority 3D printers. They're NEMA 17 motors driven by GT2 belt with a hot block of metal melting plastic with some gears that push the filament. Structurally, they're all built out of the same stuff for the most part. So quality comes down to tuning and how well the machine's built. And my machines are all built pretty well. So yeah, so it's like, I did the math. It's like the hotel's not cheap either. It's like 500 for 2 nights. That's in pounds. So 500 pounds plus 1,200 Canadian for the flight, plus whatever it costs for the trolley from Heathrow to Oxford, plus taxes, plus incidentals. It's like 2,500, $2,000, 2,500 easily. Which 3 weeks before Christmas. And it would be the 5th event I go to this year. So yeah. Do I know what changed in Rev C of the LDO kit? I don't know. I built that kit last year at some point. Last time I built an LDO kit, so. Straight up influencing. That's kind of my job if you think about it. Business expense. I wish business expenses worked how people thought, where it's just, oh, it's free. It's like, no, you can write off a percentage of your taxes. You're still paying taxes on it. You still have to pay for the thing. A tuning series. Here's the thing. I don't do tuning series and how to like tune your printer because I'll be honest, I've been running the same profile since that was a V2.1 and it works good enough. So I don't change it too much. I basically use what Dot gave me years ago and I don't mess with it. If you want a good tuning series for Vorons, look up Ellis's guide. If you sponsor the Smurf trip, we'll figure it out. I do have some E3D shirts now though. Any niche in 3D printing? I found my niche. I build printers. That's kind of my bread and butter, is building actual open source printers. That's my niche that I like. In terms of like other niches I would like to see, the problem is everything is kind of held back in certain ways by certain things. So hardware wise, y'all are cheap. So we're gonna be stuck with NEMA 17s and, you know, AliExpress quality parts for a while. Same with controllers. So we're finally getting good, you know, controllers have finally had a jump in the past few years with Clipper and offloading things to a fully powered Raspberry Pi that actually has power to do stuff. Slicers is a huge thing that's holding us back. So you see, you know, I got the video. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the fancy thing? Blah, blah, blah. Where are you? Where are you? Where's the video? I know I have a video of it. There we go. So you got this cool thing, right? Ready? Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's fully custom G-code. You can't just slice that. You have to generate multiple slice files for the different things and have it all macroed and some full control stuff in there. You can't just like load up a G-code of this model and it'll figure it out. So every time I see one of these things, it's super cool. Don't get me wrong, I did a video on this. We got a video on this that'll be coming out. But this is held back by Slicer. So anytime you see something like this, if I built one of these, I wouldn't be able to use it. I can't use it for anything because I can't, you know, you have to slice 3 benchies and you're basically telling it print this tombstone. Then you run a macro that rotates it, moves it up X amount that you've pre-configured. And then you print this G-code that you've already pre-sliced elsewhere. And then you repeat it. Like this isn't a output G-code. This is a completely custom G-code file. So you see them using like full control and stuff like that. They're not using like normal everyday slice files. So slicers are what's holding us back. The tech is years off. Like, look how much it costs to run look how much a license is for a fully featured 5+ axis CNC milling CAM software package. And now wait for somebody to come up to a free version of it for 3D printers. We're a ways off. So, yeah. But speaking of ways off, we're going to be giving away filament in 2 minutes. So you got 2 minutes to enter for your chance to win. We ever going to get a Delta Voron? No, because most Deltas, for them to be really good, require machine parts, which is a no-no for Vorons. So. Plus, nobody on the team's working on one. Bug Timmett, he was working on one years ago. It's never really come anywhere, so. We currently have a modded Neptune 2S. If you don't know, well, it depends, Jonathan, what you're looking to use your printers for. Like are you looking to DIY a printer? Or are you looking for a printer that's bigger, smaller, faster, more capable? Like that's a very open-ended question. I can't answer that with the information provided. Well, V24 is different, and V24 is going to be the first of a kind of different line for because V24 won't be released too. What V24 evolves into will be released. IKEA lacks enclosure to print parts on my Mark 3S. I printed my V2 parts on a V1 with a garbage bag over it, so lacks enclosure is probably a little bit more robust. Like the smash button. Let's do a giveaway. I am hungry. I'm going to do butter chicken, I think. Like Indian butter chicken with rice, I think, for dinner. Yeah, I buy the jars of the butter chicken sauce from Costco. They sell like a 2-pack of it. Okay, what is it? 6 days to Rapid. So give me a number between 1 and 6. Kenneth, you jumped the gun. Raymond Online, I think Max talks about it. So here's the thing. What do we got? 6. So let me shuffle that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the thing. You can guess and suggest things for what. Remember, I'm on the Voron team. Like, I know what everything's going to become. So, like, suggesting stuff to me, like your guess, I know the answer. I can't give it out, so I can't tell you if you're right or wrong. So you could throw out whatever. You could be like, oh, V24 is going to have a CNC tool head. Sure, whatever. But I know what it's going to look like when it's done. I can't tell you, so I can't feed you. I've seen behind the curtain. I could pull it up on the Discord right now, but I'm not going to, because that ruins the fun. Okay, let's give away some filament. By the way, oh wait, wait for this to finish because then you can see who wins before I say the thing. The winner is Glengus. That's a funny name. That sounds fun. Glengus. That's like a thing I would see on Rick and Morty. The Glengus. Don't put CNC tool heads on your 3D printers. It's stupid. You don't poop where you eat. You don't put additive and subtractive together. It makes a mess. I've seen it. Max did it once. Don't do it. Don't do it. So congratulations, Glengus. You'll get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to get your filament. CNC tool, don't. At one point, it was we used to run 1 millimeter thick sheets of PI on our printers back before flex plates were common. So you would just get like a 1 mil thick or 40 mil, which is 40 thousandths of an inch, because mil in that case is thousandths in French, not millimeter. So anyways, so Max got the bright idea. Well, you know, to level my, you know, make sure my thing is flat, I'm going to strap a router. I'm going to strap a what you might call it? What's the little grinder called? The Dremel. I'm going to strap a Dremel to my tool head, and I'm going to mill my plate fat, or my PI flat. He was pulling chunks of PI out of that printer years later. Don't do that. Don't. Additive, subtractive, different machines. Trust me. Okay, but we're gonna end it there because I'm starving. When that print finishes, I'll take a picture of it. So shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament that we gave away today. If you want filament from Polymaker, buy some or more. Links in the description. They're affiliate links. They don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. For those that donated to the channel, became members of the channel, or gifted memberships to others, I thank you. I would not be able to do the content I create, the things I do, without your continued support. Don't forget, Friday is the community challenge stream. You still have time to enter. If you forgot about it, I'm going to @ everyone later tonight in that channel and make sure everyone knows. So hope you're not sleeping when that ping goes out. And I will see you Friday for that stream. Remember, if you are a member of the channel or a Patreon supporter, tomorrow around noon, members only live stream. So make sure you're following the Discord for that as well. And if you're not on Discord, join it. It's fun. So I'm going to end it there. I'm hungry. I'm going to go make dinner. I will see some of you tomorrow, some of you Friday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Bye.